Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. You don't stop.
Rap groups. Holy crap, are you okay?
What's wrong with you?
Hello, my Chino brothers.
I guess now I'm not allowed to pay for sex with pennies.
It's called Raiders Reef. You see it in the daylight, you're like, whoa, this is tore down.
This is Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite motherfucker, and I gotta. I'm cursing a lot. We don't curse on.
What the hell you say?
You know what I mean? You can't
You
be
gotta have a
extreme.
combat radio job like Hot 98.3.
Is it cool for me to call you a Chang Chong Rice in motherfucker?
Shit and bring it. A picture.
Everyone.
Lady.
You're not a lady?
Yes,
What are you?
I'm Lady Boy.
How much more is coming out from this dude's laptop?
Don't miss the boat.
Don't miss the boat. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, to the #1 half Asian podcast in all of Bakersfield, California, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in to another show. Chino Brothers, I'm real excited about this show, but I was watching the intro and there was a couple things I'm like, oh man, our guests, oh boy. Think there's some correlation between some bits in the intro and these guys coming on. We'll explain it as we get there. That probably doesn't make any sense. So
No, I didn't know what that meant. I was thinking because okay, so you guys, we have two intros to the show. One's real small and has Tom Vu and a lot of Tom Vu, which I mean, you can't get enough Tom Vu. Tom Vu's like you know when the Olive Garden person comes over with the cheese?
oh yeah, and more breadsticks.
Yeah, but you know, like when they start like scraping the cheese into your soup and they're keep rolling
Real
it.
mozzarella.
Yeah,
cheese.
and you're just sitting there looking at it and they're like, tell me when it's enough. And I'm like, dude, there's never why do I gotta tell you, bro? Because I don't want to tell you. You know what I'm gonna tell
Yes.
you? It's not gonna be enough. That's how I feel about Tom Vu.
Yeah.
And you just get a little Tom Vu in that video you like.
Correction, Parmesan. But yeah. Just keep going until your arm gets tired, man.
Cheese,
how
man.
much
Whatever
I
kind
want.
of cheese it is, I don't care. I'm paying $13 for the spaghetti, bro. So you got to put that cheese on it.
Yeah. And this is the guest we have on tonight too is I was thinking about this. It's kind of like taking me and you back to our early days starting out because these kids are they're actually younger than we were when we really got going, even a few years younger.
All right, hold on a sec. The problem is you're their boss, and I have a lot of stories from our incompetent young days, and I don't want them to think of you in a different manner.
Oh, they won't.
But at the same time, I don't want them thinking of you as a boomer, Adley.
Well, not much I can do about that at this point.
I want them to know about the young hip Adley that was out there ripping turntables and tearing nightclubs down.
It was a long time ago, but it was a lot of fun. And just, I mean, Mike, if we could go back to your 20-something-year-old self, this is like us talking to our younger selves, like, dude, just think of all the potential you have, how many great opportunities are coming your way, or you could get a real job.
I spoke with these young people in the green room. This is nothing like talking to us when we were young.
Well, they're smarter.
If these kids rip bong loads for a couple hours, it would be more like talking to us when we were young.
I don't even think they drink, no smoking, no drinking, nothing.
So how is this anything like us?
Yeah, that's true. They're definitely smarter. Yeah. Oh boy. If we'd stayed on the straight and narrow, this would be
we would never
us.
have gotten into radio.
But we wouldn't have any experiences to share.
We wouldn't have gotten into radio, dude. Radio when we were in radio was the mafia. It was a dirty criminal show. Let's bring these young guys on here and teach them all about it.
Is there a live studio audience in today?
Sorry. I'm telling you, I'm really thrown off right now. I'm
Okay,
stuck between.
I'm the old guy. I'm the
I know.
AARP
I know.
guy.
Hold on.
What's going on?
I know, but the problem is I'm stuck between not wanting my friend to be a boomer and not wanting to offend these kids. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah,
Ladies
that's
and
gonna be
gentlemen,
tricky.
Grengy and Oscar.
Woo!
Hello.
Oh my
Listen to
god.
that audience, man. What a wild audience.
Yeah. Now, and you guys watching, you know, we've had, you know, people in the music industry, DJs,
Oh man, these people won't stop.
artists. Man, yes. Wait, let me hold on.
Rappers,
Boomer now.
rappers, dancers. We've had Greg Mack, the legendary record
Disc
producer
jockey
slash
and
disc
record
jockey.
producer,
Yeah.
from LA. And now people are watching like, okay, who are these people?
Well,
This is like
one of the two of us lost a bet, folks. So
this is the next generation. These are the future Greg Macks. Oh, let me think. These are the future Piolines.
Oh my god.
That's the Howard Stern of Spanish radio.
that's the Howard Stern of Spanish
Yeah,
radio.
Piolín. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Sure.
See, guys,
Don't hold me up to high standards. Just
some Asian people are racist. So I'm gonna apologize for my friend here for him thinking you guys want to just be Spanish broadcasters versus regular broadcasters like we were able to be.
Now, when we started though, there was 2 Spanish stations in the building, and that's where we picked up and we learned about corridos and all that stuff too. So be ready for that.
So what up, Gavin? So yes, Gavin, that flying monkey as you flying monkey. All right, Grengy and Oscar. Let me ask you a question. How long you been in radio, and what got you wanting to be in it?
You wanna go? Or you-
you go ahead.
So I've been in radio for a year now, and what made me get into it was like when I first applied, I was just like, I'm gonna just try it, and little did I know it was gonna turn into something where I can gain a lot of experience, like with music editing, audio editing, and actually getting my own voice out on the radio. So it's so far. That's what's getting me more into radio, just like being able to learn all these things.
Now, speaking of editing,
Me along. No, just kidding.
hold on, Grinch, I'll get to you. Don't worry, Oscar. Speaking of editing, how did you think about that intro video? Was it edited nicely?
Yeah, it was good.
Now, are you laughing because it was whack, or are you laughing because it was funny?
No, it was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
it was good.
That's Adley's favorite one. We should probably show him the other
I
one.
love that
Adley.
one. I do love that one. Real quick though, the other boss is watching too.
What
What
up,
up,
Danny?
DJ Danny P?
Oh,
Danny.
Is watching too, guys.
See, now
so-
we can't be talking about nothing. Here-
other boss.
I know, right?
no, so the reason why I asked is because I was a producer when we were in radio, but back then we used to have to use reel-to-reels and carts and mini discs sometimes, and then we had this little box. It was called a shortcut. Do you guys? What do you do? What do you edit on? What's
Well, usually, what's the program we edit on?
Oh, Adobe Audition.
Usually
Okay.
Adobe Audition, but now our boss wants us to learn Audacity.
Audacity.
And we're like,
you, Adley? You're making
Well,
them
it's-
learn Audacity?
Audacity, and the reason not to get too
Dude,
deep
we
into
used
it,
Audacity at Hot 98.3, and I'm not lying
Did
to
we?
you guys.
it
Yes.
must have been a very, very early version. Oh my
They
gosh,
never
dude.
changed it afterwards, bro. It's not multi-track.
Well, it is now. It is now. I did not know that. I didn't realize that. But we have you have to pay monthly to use Adobe Audition. And when it came up, it's like, well, we really don't have the budget, you know. And I get it. You know, all these software companies like, hey, instead of just buying it one time, and then you crack the code, then you share it with your friends, then everything. They're like, you're just gonna have to pay a monthly fee. So we're like, well, what can we do to avoid paying the monthly fee? Audacity is free, and it is better now. It's multi-track. Is it as good as Adobe Audition? They hear me complain about it all the time. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Audacity. You know.
No, but I used Audacity when we were in radio. No, it was Goldwave, Adley.
Oh, Goldwave. Oh,
Goldwave.
jeez. Yeah, that was
Goldwave.
the one.
That was the first one, you guys, and like it took
One track.
forever. It was a single track. You do your edit. You'd cut here. You'd cut here. And then to delete it, it would take like 3 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
So for something for the kids to compare to, or the first version of Pac-Man was like what? Was like 8-bit, right? Compare that Goldwave was like the 8-bit version of audio editing. It was like,
and we thought we were in the future. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm on Star Wars. I don't have to have reel to reel, because reel to reel, you got what it was. It was 2 big giant tapes, like spools of tape, and you'd record something on it. Then you would cut it with scissors. You take a piece of tape, lay it over another audio edit.
Yeah, I only did like 1 or 2 of those, and I hated it. Thank goodness we went to Carts and Shortcut, and we actually had a man. Oscar, you might have been there when we threw out all that old equipment. Remember? And I took a picture of it for my Facebook. Yeah, because you had to specifically take it to the electronic place. Looking back, we should have kept it, Oscar. Looking back, so I can show you guys. But they're like, just get rid of the stuff. So we're like, all right. And
Shortcut, dude? You threw away a shortcut?
Yeah.
You were out of your mind, dude.
Yeah, people were, when I posted it on social media, people were hitting me like, where is it? I want it. I'll buy it. And I was like, it's gone, bro. It's gotten electronically recycled.
But the shortcut was like the Atari, the first video game at home. That was to editing what your phone could do now. Like your phone would like just burn that thing to the ground.
Oh yeah, jeez, it's insane. Yeah, you could do audio, video on your phone now. Back then we had to be like, and we had to fight for a studio. Well, that kind of still happens sometimes when you gotta do some editing for a spot or whatever. You're like, what studio's available? It was the same back then.
Now, what about you, Grengy? How did you end up getting into radio?
Well, I found out about it through Oscar when I came back from college for break, and I was like, you know what? I'll get into it. And once I got into it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best
hate
job
it.
ever.
Okay, good.
Really? You guys really love radio?
I was scared in the interview, but Adley made me feel comfortable. And then,
I'm super chill. Yeah,
you're super chill and laid back. And then plus, he teaches a lot of things from radio.
Really?
Easy and laid back. What has he taught us?
Our old program director used to tell us, don't let them take your kindness for weakness. But also our old program director, when we walk in the room, here, Adley, you pretend like you're walking in the room. Say hi to me. I'll be our old program director. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What's up, puto? Every morning. Every morning.
What did I do wrong? Why is he mad at me?
Every morning.
Do you need coffee, boss? What's going on?
Dude, I worked on the morning show with him, you guys. I love Paco too, and he's been on our show. But I worked on the we love. He's like an uncle to us, or like a second dad to us. Like we really love the guy. But me and him worked on a morning show, and like I've never been a morning person, so you got to be up at 5:30 in the morning. Like you got to be there at 5:30 in the morning, and dude, I will be flying. I would stay the night at not my house, and then I'd be flying as fast as I could to that radio station. And our radio station was in the hood, you guys. Oh my gosh, was it in the hood? Tell them about it, Adley.
It was in the hood, but not only that, it was in like you had to drive like a mile down this dirt deserty road with no lights, nothing. So if you're pulling up at 5 a.m, it's scary. There's like tweakers and stuff living out there. So it's like zombies. It's like The Walking Dead. Sometimes you're like, oh boy, please don't run in front of my car or whatever. And then because our boss, the program director, was like that, if you were late, it only made it worse.
Awful.
It only made it
It was awful. Nah, you were never late. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm gonna start ratting your boss out right now. We were late to gigs.
Oh my god.
I don't remember being late. Were we?
Well, dude, Potato Head. We had this sales manager. We called him Potato Head. His name was Richard. Like, we did not get along with this dude, and like openly did not get along with this dude.
He was the Ron of the company.
He was the Ron. Oh no,
Yeah.
what Ron's listening right now, Adelaide?
No, I'm just saying that position wise.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, if Richard Potato Head was listening, we would still call him Potato Head. Like, we call him Potato Head on the air. On the air. We made radio bits about him, everything. Everything's live. You know, you guys, like, there was nothing piped in. There was one DJ for every, you know, time slot, you know, a voice, like a human voice DJ for every time slot. And like, you would just get mad and just start making fun of Richard. Like, Richard Potato Head, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, this dude was like me and Adelaide's nanny. Like, every time there was a Chino Brother event, they had to send Potato Head with us. Like, and he was like a truant officer or something. He would always be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's like, dude, I'm at a nightclub where I'm the star. People are paying money to see me. Leave me alone.
But he'd do this. There'd be a line outside the door of the club, right? You know, people lined up to get in, a couple hundred deep, and we'd be kind of like, if it started at 10, we'd probably be getting there at 10,
15.
Yeah, like, oh, that lady even. I don't remember that, but I remember and he just have this looking at his watch like, and we're kind of like, well, dude, we're making you money, bro. Chill. But he would just, yeah, he was that guy. But yeah, I don't know. Why did we not? We didn't really care.
We had no problems disrespecting this man. Well, the thing was, it wasn't like it. Here was how it would go, you guys. The gig would start at 10. Our first mic drop would be at 10:30. So it's like, bro, we don't got to be there till 10:30, really. You know, and then once we got cell phones, because we didn't have cell phones, so we had this pole. You just put this giant pole in the air. It looked like an old
giant TV pole. Antenna.
No, it was a pole. It was like it must have gone up like 50 feet in the air, and you had to keep putting it up. It was called the Marty. And you just kept cranking it up and cranking it up. But first you had to like pull out the top part of it because it had like an antenna. Like,
yeah, the top part was a TV antenna.
Yeah.
And then it would crank up. Then you push it up.
Dude,
yeah.
And you like hit yourself in the face with it when you're cranking it sometimes. And like sometimes your fingers would get caught.
It was pinching.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a joke from earlier. Pinching, yeah, but your feet, because it was like a smaller tube, a little bit bigger, and you slide each one up, and then sometimes your finger gets stuck in there. Oh, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you had this like booty microphone, like it looked like it was from Radio Shack, which I don't even think you guys know what that is.
He actually does.
You remember Radio Shack?
Yeah,
I remember.
Well, so you had this booty microphone, and you'd be talking. But you didn't have any monitoring system to know you were actually broadcasting except for the radio in the truck. So like you had to have the radio just low enough so they wouldn't pick up the feedback, but you needed a monitor to make sure that you were actually broadcasting or your signal was decent. It was like being in World War II, like no, I'm just kidding.
Remember, and Oscar, he's run the board for us. Like he's been in the studio on the other side while we're live at a remote or whatever. But we'll pre-record a lot of times just in case. And back then, there was no way to pre-record. I guess you could have done it on the 360.
You couldn't.
Right? Okay.
No, you couldn't.
We just have to go on and just
the 360 went through the phone. The short chop went through the phone.
So you couldn't even do it.
You were going through a
phone
broadcast,
line, right? Yeah. So we'd have to go on, and my first one, Mike, I don't know if you were with me or not, but we're like, yeah, I was on live, just like, hey, what's up? We're down here at the club, man. It's cracking. And then some guys driving by, like listen, like, no, it's not. It sucks inside. And that goes out on the air. And you're like, oh man, were you with me with that one?
Yeah, Mike, it was a Chino Brother event. I remember that. It was me and you and Andy B. Andy B was the DJ. So like there was an older guy and he passed away. So God bless Andy B. But like he wasn't cool. And me and Adley were like your guys' age, right? So like we were young and hip
and cool.
And there's no internet, there's no nothing. So everybody has to listen to the radio. Like if you want to have fun, you want to know new music, you have to listen to the radio. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, then at the same time, if you're gonna go to the nightclub, you want to go where the Chino brothers are going, right? This is before we were that hip. We still had to do our grunt work before we got to be the Chino brothers. Like we were called the Chino brothers, but nobody cared. So we had to, so we had to do a remote for this DJ called Andy B. And Adlai, you want to describe Andy B?
Andy B was that kind of that uncle you had that. Yeah, he could buy you beer, but you really didn't want to hang out with him after he bought the beer for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Super sweet guy, though. Super awesome guy and everything. He's that guy like, Andy, my computer's not working. Oh, yeah, bring it over. I'll be right there. You know, or I'll help you fix it. You're like, oh, okay, cool. But you're like, then be like, hey, let's grab some tacos. You're like, I gotta go. Like it was kind of like that, but super sweet guy.
Well,
though.
also like he was in. Once again, I agree with Adlai. Super sweet guy, but he'd also be kind of the awkward guy that would stare right at a lady's boobs, like kind of creepy. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Like,
God. No.
yeah, and you're kind of like, can we not stand next to you, please? Can we not do that?
He had the 70s mustache too.
Yes, straight 70s mustache. Yeah,
kind of like, is he a CHP officer or adult movie actor? You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
You don't know.
God.
It's kind of like that.
yeah.
Nice
And then
guy.
one time he told me, he was like, "Hey, Sketch." That was my radio name was Sketch. He said, "Hey,
Andy B.
Sketch."
Not did he?
He goes, "You know what?
Not Danny.
No, not Danny P.
Not Danny
Andy
P.
B. No, not Danny. Danny P is cool. Danny P is a cool dude." So, but anyway, so Eddie B comes up to me, he goes, "Hey, Sketch, I got to tell you a trick I have." And I said, "What's that, man?" He goes, "I don't clean my ears, so I let a lot of wax grow in my ears. That's how I could play the music so loud. I could play the music so loud I can still hear everything the next day because I keep the wax in my ears." That's what he told me.
Hey, we got it. Hold on, we got a couple comments too, real quick, guys.
Okay, sorry.
Shout out, no, that's cool. Shout out to Kay here in Bakersfield. She said, "Groovy thumbs up, thank you." And
Thank you, Kay.
DJ Nocturnal, Oscar, where's my XLR?
Oh
Oh
no,
my God. Oh my God.
not caught up with you, bro. Who's there, right?
Oh, he caught you, man. Yeah, jeez.
But
Oh my
anyways, you
gosh, that's
guys.
funny.
So Adlai and I have this. We're at this show, but we're booked as a club act. But we were the talent, and Andy was the DJ. And so, like, we're promoting Andy because we haven't gotten that far yet. We're not cooler than Andy yet. And so Adlai, we had a contest. What was the contest, Adlai? I know it was something perverted.
Thong contest or something.
What?
Booty shaking. You can't do those anymore. I mean, you know, this is the 90s, but it was something.
I feel like it was
like
a thong
that.
contest.
Era.
I'm pretty sure it was a thong. I think it was a thong
Cisco
contest
thong
because
song was
That's
probably.
why I think it was.
okay.
Yeah, because Cisco's thong song had just come out, and so I feel like it was like, and this was the next thing, you guys. Anything like dirty and perverted, they always made me and Adlai do it. I'm not even lying.
Pre-phones,
angry about it.
pre-social media too. So
Yeah, that's true. I'm so
yeah,
glad.
maybe that's why.
Yeah, but like when we like, it didn't matter if like they're like, "Hey man, you know that dirtiest strip joint in all of Tucson?" And we're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, well, you two, we want you to do a remote there for Monday Night Football and try to invite couples to come down." It's like, who's gonna bring their girlfriend to this place, man?
Oh my God.
Oscar, what's the strip club in town here that you go to?
I don't know.
No.
You should be asking Grengy that
Wait,
question.
Grengy,
right?
what's the
Oh my God.
but yeah, it was grimy. There were
Hold
some
on.
grimy spots.
I got another strip story for you. So there's these dudes who
Oh.
used to come on the morning show.
What?
Yeah, listen. There's these dudes that they used to come on the morning show, and they were called the Wild Boys, and they were like the Chippendales of Tucson, because Tucson was like one of those like secondhand towns. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have an Arby's, but you had a JB's or something. You hear them going like, so we didn't have the real name brand stuff. We had these offshoots. So this thing was called the Wild Boys, and these dudes would come on our show, and then we'd give away free tickets. But ladies loved these guys. So like you would just get like mad numbers when they come on the show. It was annoying, but it's like, all right, look, man, we need ratings. Okay. We got to sell commercials. So got a lot of ladies listening. We're good. And we would give those tickets away like hotcakes. Like they would just burn out of our pockets.
Oh my God.
Okay. So these cats would come on the show and I would have to write bits for them. But they're all stupid, right? Because they're just muscleheads who use steroids and are in pornography, probably, for all we know. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, they always had to be like the lowest common denominator bits. Like, there could be no cleverness to them. There could be no funniness to them, right? Anyways, the problem was for the Chino brothers, for me and Adlai, like our reputation was Adlai was the ladies' man and I was the thug. Like that was in the streets. That's how they looked at us, right? So these effing strippers thought I was cool with them because they're like, yeah, man, this is one of our thugs. And I'm like, bro, I don't like you. And that's a pretend version of me that me and Adelaide make money playing records doing. That's not who we are in real life. It's fake. It's phony. But anyways, neither here nor there. So then after all this is going on, they come on our show, blah, blah, blah. Adelaide, you went to one of their shows, dude. You remember about that?
We had a actual remote at the Wild Boys. So it was a male strip club, and it was probably the scariest night of my life because it was the guys, they have their stage, they come out and they're all buff in shape and everything, and they do their, one guy was like, oh yeah, so and so, Mr. Robot, and he comes out and he's wearing all these like laser lights and he's dancing and stuff, and 500 girls going insane crazy like woo, and all I remember is like I gotta use the bathroom, so I had to walk through the crowd of females.
My God.
And I felt so violated.
I don't believe you.
Don't
listen to this liar.
I'm like, what is going on?
He went to the show, and then it was him, Paco, and then the nighttime guy. His name was Dwayne Chavez, right? And actually, he's the guy that named us the Chino Brothers. But anyways, so he went to the show, and then him and Paco the next day were telling me, dude, I think that's a good way to meet chicks. You just go there. The chicks get all jacked up looking at the guys. Yeah, and they don't have a boyfriend or nothing there. So you have,
just hang out in the parking lot after. That's how we could do it and stuff too. But yeah, that was a crazy one. The Wild Boys. I wonder if you guys are cutting out. You guys might be cutting out.
Are we cutting out?
There's feedback. Yeah, hit your mute button real quick.
I can mute him on my end. Let me see.
There we
Check,
go.
check, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shoot, I wonder where it's coming from.
It's the head. They need headphones. They're getting feedback.
Earbuds, huh?
Yeah, they need headphones.
You guys got earbuds, Oscar?
They sound like robots.
Plug it. You got them in the car? Can you guys hear me? Maybe if they flip to earbuds, because there's 2 of them. You guys can each wear one. Yeah, we'll see. Because something's coming in really weird.
No, it's when you don't wear headphones. That's what happens. That's what happened on the Rascal episode. Remember we had to have Rascal reboot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, you guys have your earbuds in? Oh, they froze. You got your earbuds in?
That does sound better though.
I told you.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yes,
That's
I told
better.
you. The audio producer knows what he's doing.
Nice.
All right, now let me get back to this story. So Adlai and Paco and Dwayne go, right? And they're telling me, dude, that's a good way to meet chicks. You got to go over there. And I'm like, I'm not going to the effing Wild Boys. Now, here's the worst part, you guys. I was still in college. When we were in radio. And the Wild Boys were at University of Arizona campus, like handing out flyers to the sorority girls, like, hey, if you need a party. And they're all like wearing their, small
cut off
clothes and
shirts,
stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm walking across the quad, and one of them comes over and gives me like the longest bro hug because he wants people to know that he's friends with the morning show guy at Hot 98.3. And I'm like, bro, nobody at this school knows who I am. We just look gay. Can you please let me go? It was so awful, man. It was so awful.
That was a long hug.
It was a super long hug.
Uncomfortable hug.
Now, here's the next thing, you
and
guys.
he didn't say nothing?
He was strong. He was strong, though.
It was one of those things where you're kind of like, is this going to stop? Like, what are we doing? And you don't want to be rude.
It was the full frontal, right? It was a frontal hug, too, right?
No,
chest to chest.
Well, he was grinding on my leg while I didn't know what that was about, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about that. But like, no, but it's like, it's one of these things where like, you got to remember back then there was no internet. You're a pretty popular person in that town. And if if you're mean to someone, they're going to start telling people, oh yeah, I met Sketch. He's an a-hole, blah, blah, blah. So you have to be artificially nice to people. Like, and so you're just
Yeah.
hugging this
Have
guy
to have
going,
a
what is going,
good
like, this is
reputation.
awful. Yeah. So, but anyways, so what do you guys feel like? How does it feel to be young in radio? Do you feel like it's show business, or how does it feel to you guys?
We definitely don't have the pressure as much as you guys when you were younger.
Do you, hey, Grangy, that brings up a good conversation piece, because I think about that too. Because I think, like, man, all me and Mike wanted to do when we started was like be out there, be on the radio, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't like a popular thing, but it was really nice to be known and really nice to be able to book gigs and actually make okay money. We didn't make a ton of money, but we made good money and we're recognized.
I like being famous.
Mike was more than the famous thing, but I like the perks too. Getting into the
Oh my God.
concert, getting more backstage, meeting famous people, getting drops. But I just, one thing I think about is with you guys getting into radio, it's like you've already got social media if you want to get famous. So there's ways to get famous, but radio still a way to get famous. But I feel like what's your guys is, do you guys care about being famous or known or anything, or
Care about being famous?
it's like foreign to them,
It's weird, huh?
Like, yeah, it's like, it's just, maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know, because but I
think so,
I can't see that totally. But
Like everyone our age wants to be like, oh, I'll be a TikToker, or I'll post these things on Instagram and I'll get famous. Oh, gee. But in reality, it's like very hard to get into. You actually have to be funny if you want to be a TikToker or anything.
And you gotta get into it, because like at the beginning you probably get no viewers at all, and then you just gotta keep going and going until something hits.
Right? Like it takes like people sometimes even years to get famous, or at least some recognition.
yeah,
I mean, it took us years
Through
to get
social
into
media.
radio, you guys. Me and Adley, like, it took us
Yeah,
years to get in radio. But like radio, there was no TikTok. There was no, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, oh, we have 10,000 followers on YouTube. That's pretty nice. We have 3,200 followers on TikTok. It's like, that's pretty dope. Like, and as you're growing, you feel great about yourself. But back then it was just like, we have to go out in front of people and play records and be there in front of them and like show them like this is us. We both worked at a radio station that didn't have a frequency. What was our frequency, Adley, at camp, you think?
oh, 1570, 1470. It had an AM signal.
Exactly, but how far?
Yeah.
How many? What? 10 watts?
Feet. Yeah, if that. I think it was like a quarter watt, to be honest. I feel
It didn't even. It didn't even go all the way across our campus, across our college campus.
Yeah. It was super low frequency, so it was more, I guess, the radio experience, in a way, but it wasn't a real, like, when you get to commercial radio, it's totally different. I'll say that. That was like, it was more like a public access station at the college.
But
Excuse me.
But we did everything we could for people to know who we were. Here, this is how it was for us coming up in radio. Adley, you want to show them that picture?
Oh, yeah, he's ready. Here's if you can see.
I know it's a picture of a picture, which sucks, but
that's Mike right there in the yellow shirt with his tongue out.
Does he have blonde hair?
no, those are goggles on top of my head.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, I had those goggles because I used to ride this little scooter. I had this old like vintage Vespa scooter, and that thing would haul though. And I put the goggles on my eyes, and right there's the mixing board because we would DJ there in the afternoon or on the quad at the school. That's how we got people to know who we were. Like, we're like, okay, we'll just take it to you, and people will be like. And University of Arizona has a giant quad, and everybody's sunbathing there. Everybody's laying there playing volleyball and stuff, and you're just playing records for them the whole time.
Yeah, there's a student union steps right there behind it. And believe it or not, though, two things. One, I rode on the back of Mike's scooter, and thank goodness there's no pictures of that because that was weird. But two, this guy right here, we talked about him. No, luckily we didn't crash. But this guy right here, ended up working at VH1, we think, but we know he had an internship there. And this guy actually works at Sirius XM Radio on the metal station.
I'm not saying he still does, but he did.
Yeah, even up to a couple years ago. I heard him a couple years ago.
We should get him on the Chino Brothers.
We got to find out. Jose Mangan.
Yeah, it's Jose Mangan. He'd come on the Chino Brothers. Why?
I bet
come
you
on, man. Book this cat.
We'll have to reach out to this guy too. But yeah, last I heard him a couple years ago, he actually interviewed Metallica. So pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. So
and then if you guys want to see what it was like after college radio, Adley, turn to the left.
Correct. Nope.
No,
hey,
to
what
the right.
happened?
I don't know.
We rehearsed this.
I know.
Hold on.
That was before you added. There it is.
Wait a minute.
That other video popped in the middle. But this is, and you guys know what cricket is. We were there for the launch of cricket, and I'll be honest, I don't even remember being there, Mike. I remember were we working this, or were we actually getting cricket phones?
No, we were working it. They wanted the Chino Brothers, like they thought the Chino Brothers represented value. Like back then, you guys, like if you were a DJ, you'd get a deal with a company. Like companies would offer you deals and they give you free crap. So like, but cricket phones
Free
thought the Chino Brothers. No, like they gave us phones and they paid our phone bills.
There's the cricket phone.
Yeah, but they thought the Chino Brothers represented the value of cricket phones. And so they wanted to hire us as their spokesperson. There we are right there.
And I'll tell you right now,
Adley and Sketch.
It works because cricket's still around.
And it's because of the Chino Brothers. Because of the Chino Brothers.
So make sure you keep track of those memories. Because now, even then, I'm glad you and I'm glad you had those pictures, because pictures, they get destroyed, but at least like even digitally, save all that stuff. That's pretty cool. So, hey, can we do a couple shout outs real quick, guys? I'm sorry.
Hey, dude, we keep missing these shout outs.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, Panama checking in. What's up, Panama? Nice. G Boogie coming through. Boogeyman tapping in. What up? And Danny P throwing the crickets.
That's right.
and this was before texting, by the way. I think texting came in a few years after that. So.
Yeah.
Kids don't know. They don't know the struggles.
I feel like Boomerang had to deal with this though too. Remember, it was Boomerang. It was Boomerang and then Cricket. And Boomerang was like Cricket, you guys. It was one of them bootleg phone companies that you prepaid. And we're like, okay, man, whatever. I feel like they had to deal with Hot 98.3 too.
Kathy checking in too real quick. Sorry, yes.
Good to see you, Kathy.
What's up, Kathy? Yeah. So we got to get back to the Grengy and Oscar story real quick though too, because I know you guys touched on it. Oscar, you mentioned, you're like, hey, when I saw the job and I interviewed and I said I'd go for it. I'm trying to figure this out in my own head as a boomer. What's the allure? What was the allure? What was the excitement? What was the thing that drew you into like this is what I like? I'm interested in this stuff, this radio stuff.
What drew me in was like how it said on the page where like you would like learn more about radio and like you set up, right? And so like that got me into it more because I really wanted to like experience that and see how it would feel and like how everything gets set up for an event, and that's what drew me in.
I think it's a much more valuable experience than I'm not gonna even comparing it to a degree, but like for any other job they want a degree for it, and then for this job I'm like, oh, you can actually learn as you go and then grow as you go rather than
radio and El Pollo Loco. You don't need a degree for it. That's the
now Grengy has work experience. Where did you work at before?
Oh geez. Well, before this I volunteered at Kern Medical, and then
what about the delivery place?
And then before that, I worked at Amazon. Horrible place.
What's it like at Amazon?
Oh my god, there's like so
Wait,
many
Oscar, have you ever worked at Amazon?
I have not.
No.
Okay.
there's like so many people above you that you lose count. And then so you're just ordered around to do every single little task as fast as you can. So depending on how fast you go, you move up. And I'm like, I hate it.
So you had to move. If the faster you went, the more you moved up the ladder. Is that how it went?
Basically, but the pay stayed the same.
That's not moving up the ladder.
I know. Well,
sounds
you get
not
a more important job. That like
You they give you more responsibility without more money.
more responsible. Yeah, basically.
Wow.
You get
Yeah,
to
but-
order people around.
And I always tell these guys, Mike, I tell them like, hey man, I'm teaching you as much as I can. And this really, it's like I guess a college experience, and the fact that you're learning all this different stuff. They should be paying us is really what it should be.
Yeah.
But you think about it too. Think about like I feel like back in the 90s, comparing, you really had to kind of like stick your head out there, bug people to teach you stuff, because a lot of times they wouldn't teach you stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
No, nobody taught us nothing. I learned everything. I'm not even kidding you guys. I learned everything I learned about production. I learned by myself.
On the fly.
Yeah, all by
trial
myself.
and error.
And
Yeah.
don't forget, my program director is going to come in tomorrow, and you already know what he's going to call me. And I'm already like, man, I've been here for 12 hours trying to figure this out, and I know you guys aren't going to pay me for any of those hours.
Yeah, because even now, I mean, for me, it was similar in my case, but Mike's putting together bits but I do like music and mixing and stuff too, so it was a little bit it was a simpler process, but it was the same thing, man. I'd go in and be like, okay, it's after hours, 9 at night, nobody's in the production studios. I'm gonna go mess around with the equipment and stuff and try to, just kind of do mixes or do like fun club commercials or whatever. But yeah, like nowadays, and then you got YouTube now too. Remember that YouTube, you can go whatever program you're using. There's a tutorial on it on the internet somewhere. So it's
That
like,
is true. That would have been dope.
do I-
Oh, that would have been so nice.
yeah, instead of like, Mike,
What does this button do? What does this button do? What does this button do?
Just test them all out.
That's exactly how it was. And then
Yeah.
like I'd have clients that always wanted to stay in the booth with me when I was producing their commercial. And they weren't my clients, they're the radio station's clients. And it's like, bro, you are a nerd. You can't tell me how to make a commercial, dude. Play this song. It's like, you don't want nobody to come to your nightclub, I'll put that song in your commercial.
Yeah. And Oscar Grengy, I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to record a client yet, but
Yeah, we
right
have.
now,
We have.
Who'd you guys-
like individually, yes.
Did you
Oh.
produce? Did they stay there while you produced the commercial, or did you just voice
Looking
them and
over
it was
your
like,
shoulder?
"All right, see you later"?
They stayed there.
they
Really?
did? Who was it?
Remember, I forget. It was it the kids too? We did
Oh
that
yeah,
too,
we
right?
also did the
The ice skating
ice
kids?
skating. Yeah, we did the ice skating.
And they stood there while you were producing the
Yeah,
commercial.
all the
Like
ice
editing
skating
and
kids are
everything?
staying there, and we're just trying to produce.
Were they giving you notes though? Where they're telling you, no, put this song in, do this, do that? Were they doing that, or were they just standing there?
And they're just standing there like.
They're
"What's
actually nice
happening?"
kids,
Okay.
but it was still it's still awkward. But yeah, not
Nah,
as
man.
bad as
I'll
You
tell
know.
you guys, there's this dude I can't stand. I've made fun of him on this show 100 times. Adelaide's always afraid he's gonna come after me. I'm like, how's he gonna come after me? This dude's 900 years old. He ain't coming after me. This dude, his name was Metro Stevie, you guys. This dude was a nerd, dude. But he was all banged up on the Coco Loco, if you know what I'm saying. And so like I wasn't trying to be around this cat too much, but the problem was he had deep pockets, right? So he allegedly made all his money from the flower store that he owned. But then one day he came in, he produced a commercial at Hot 98.3, and it sounded like this. The Tucson police were wrong coming in and raiding my nightclub. I do not sell cocaine. The money I have is from the flower store. And I'm like, man, nobody thought you sold cocaine until you put a commercial out that said you didn't sell cocaine. But anyway,
Oh my God.
I know, huh? Getting back to this dude. So this dude, he ran a club called the Metro, right? And he used to come in and he would bother me and bother me and bother me to produce this commercial. But he always want to be in the room and always want to tell me what songs to use. And all the songs he would want me to use are whack. So I was like, fine, man, why don't you voice it? So I have him voice it, but his name was Steve. So I had him call himself on the radio Metro Stevie. Everybody thought it was hilarious because I'm bagging on this dude to himself, and he didn't figure it out. But dude, I had to do that guy's commercials all the time, and it sucked because he'd be behind me like, yeah, let's make this one a banger. And I'm like, bro, you're a nerd. Leave me alone. Let me tell you about this nerd. This is how this dude worked, though. He's pretty smart. He would hire up all the DJs all over town, so no other club could have a DJ. Then he hired me and Adley. And we just sat at the bar the whole time drinking beers. We're like, hey, dude, when are we going to DJ? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then finally he let us do some stuff. But, man, that dude sucked. That dude was awful.
We got paid. We got paid, though. But it was, and I'm super easygoing, as you guys know, and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to work here anymore. We didn't make a ton of money. We split like $200, $100, whatever it was.
Yeah, but that was pretty decent cash.
Back then, it was good money.
Yeah.
But I was like, Mike, I don't. And then I think he even told us, I only want one of you now. Now that all the other clubs we already told the other clubs, like, we don't want to work there. We're already committed to Metro. Then once that was dialed in, he's like, oh, good. Now I can cut one of you loose, I think. Or I'm going to pay you half the money. You can stay or not. It was something like that. And
the Adler was mad, dude. He was like, I'm leaving. Yeah. And I stayed the rest of the night because I was like, well, I'll get the $100 at least for me. And then I caught up with Ad and Adley. I think one of the two of us came up with this scam. So there was a club and it was called Twilight. And the dude that was running the Twilight at the time, the guy had the remote for the Twilight. We knew he was not lighting that place up. We knew nobody was going there to see it.
Pretty dead. It was even on the weekends.
Yeah, so then our general manager, and dude, our general manager, that dude was a nerd. That dude sucked, man. That dude was awful. That dude was the worst. He used to drive this like Viagra mobile, like, dude, this like I have a little PP mobile, dude. Like this dude, so he had this Corvette that had our radio station name on it, but it was like just a year old enough to be whack. You know what I mean? When somebody has a sports car, but it's just that year that it's not supposed to be yet, right? Like it ain't cool yet. Like you got to wait a couple more years for that to be a classic and be cool. Or you were supposed to get the new one, dude, because that body style looks whack, right? Like he had one of those, right? Go ahead.
I was gonna say he had the vanity plates too, right?
Yeah, they said Hot 98.3 on them.
Yeah, he paid extra to have the license plate say the radio station Hot 98.3. I remember that. It looked cheesy.
Dude, this dude was the corniest dude. This dude was so corny. I mean, he was so corny. Here's the rub: he could fire me in Adley. So he comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, man, I want you guys to start doing the Twilight." And we're like, bro, we don't want to do the Twilight. And he's like, well, too bad. You know, we're like, hey, man, look, here's the thing. They're paying us better over here at the Metro. And he's like, well, the only reason why they heard of you at the Metro is because you work at my radio station. And so we're like, oh, man. So we're going to get squeezed. Because here's what happened. Like, Steve would pay us $100 a piece. And Adley could say whatever he wanted. The problem was radio station would pay us $50 to split.
Yeah,
so like we weren't doing radio station gigs anymore. We're like, man, what do we look like, dummies? Like you guys are gonna pay us. Like we're famous now. So what we did, like we knew eventually Alan was gonna get us because this dude sucked. This dude can make every day of your life miserable. Adley, tell these young people about this general manager of ours.
Dude, he was that guy that again, comparing position wise, he's the Jeremy where we're at now, but Jeremy's super cool. This guy was just that guy that wanted to be cool so bad, wanted to hang out with the cool kids, wanted to be at the club. Like, yeah, I'm hanging out. The DJs are my friends. We're buddies. And here's one of the things he'd want us to do too, would be like, hey guys, Chino brothers, I got a really cool idea for you guys to do for the next contest here at the club. We're gonna get couples and we're gonna have them do a banana eating contest And with but it's like, but it's basically like not
what
using
kind of
hands,
corny?
and it was so
Here's
bad.
the
And it
rub.
was like,
You say
I'm not
boomer,
doing
but like
that.
white boomer, before white people were supposed to be involved in this type of stuff. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not talking about like one of them cool white people. I'm talking about them white people you saw on television. You're like, are you that inept in understanding minorities? Nah, fool. This dude absolutely was. Like he could
Didn't
not
understand the
understand
music, the club, nothing.
none of it. He couldn't get it. And I'm like, what does it matter? We're making you a ton of money and you're not paying us a ton of money. So we've got to scam clubs into paying us money. And dude, I would fight with them. I'm like, I don't want to go back to that club. But it got to the point where I'm like, Ad, we're going to lose our jobs. So Adelaide's like, I got a better idea. So we drive down to the club, right? And
Twilight, the new club.
and the guy, I don't want to say the DJ's name that had that night because I don't have any problems with that guy. I'll call people out from our younger days, but not this guy. It wasn't his problem. He's trying to play it off. He's trying to have a good time, but dude, there is nobody on the dance floor. Like it's one of those places where they're starting to like give away free food when you get there just to like get people to show up.
It was sad when you went in there. It was sad.
We walk in and the owner's just sitting there drinking. He's a handsome cat, like big muscle guy, like probably played football,
probably basketball or something.
Yeah,
definitely an
something.
athlete.
Yeah, athlete. He had money, but anyway, so he's sitting there drinking. You could just tell he just felt like a failure. And we walk in, and he looks up and he's like, "What's up, Adlai? What's up, Sketch?" And Adlai had this. Adlai was the smart guy when we were young. He had this whole thing cooked up, and he goes, "Listen, Kevin, you know, we don't really like being at Metro. That's how come we weren't there last week, and we're kind of stalling out for Steve because we'd rather talk to you." And so Kevin's like, "Okay, I'm listening." So he's like, "Look, how about this? Pay us $1 a head for everybody who comes in over 200 people. We don't get 200 people in here. It's all your money. After 200 people, though, you give us $1 a head from the first person." And that was the deal we cut with the guys. So we ended up making more money for this dude. Yeah. And then at that point, we just told Alan, yeah, I guess we'll go back. But like in real life, we were getting pressured to lose our jobs. But Adelaide worked a sweet deal with the guy.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. Hey, and it worked out pretty good. And we were there for a
It
long
was awesome.
run. Yeah. Louis V. We got to say
What
what's
up,
up to
Louis
Louis
V?
V down in LA. What's up, man? He DJs at the Groove too.
My homie
What's
Louis
up, homie?
He's the only way I stay sane.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So yeah, isn't that a
Bye-bye.
crazy story, you guys?
Yeah, it was fun stuff. And because and Mike, I'm trying to get these guys to DJ right now. I want it to be Danny P had a great name for him, the OG show. You know what I mean? The OG DJ.
Yeah.
You want him to voice
Oscar Grengy.
voice a couple hours, or you want him to go live, dude?
No, I'm talking about doing the club. Start at the club.
Doing a club.
Rock some music and stuff. Yeah, just get him out
You
there.
guys do turntables?
Yeah,
You guys
DJ
turntables?
Doc taught him some.
Doc taught
DJ
you?
Doc. Oh yeah, Doc.
taught him-
DJ
taught him.
Jules. Yeah. They've been in
Jules
there when
taught
we
you?
had some guys in there. Huh? You saw Jules. He was on Jules's setup one time. And it's fun too. And then Grangy, we got to get on there. But they know how to hook up the speakers. You guys learning how to rock the mic a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Mike, here's what I see in these two. Just a lump of clay to mold.
Bunch of nerds.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? To put together and shape.
Here's the problem. It was a different time when we were young, you guys, and it was like a criminal time. Like everybody was a criminal. Most of our friends were criminals. It was what it was.
In the club life for sure. In that music for sure. Yeah.
I felt like it was illegal to do what we were doing, and possibly it might have been some of the things we were doing were illegal. Well, and definitely other things we were doing were illegal. We knew people who had mistresses and their wives didn't know about it, and we had to keep our mouths shut. Like, we saw the craziest stuff, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Am I lying, Adley?
No, you're not. And I remember even sometimes, like we were doing a remote at the car lot. I can't remember the guy's name, but we'll just say I'm not trying to put him on blast, but some people got cars. Got cars. Like, here's a car. Just help me with promotions of my car dealership. Okay, and we're doing a remote too. And the one guy's all like, "Come on, Adley, I'm gonna go pick up food." And I'm all like, all right, but he had the souped up truck, all fancy, blinged out.
Oh
and
my
everything.
gosh! Hold on. Before Adley tells his story, okay. So we had this remote, you guys, and it was in a dirty part of town. It wasn't like a hoodie, like not real hood, not like but like, I don't know if I want to stay here too long. You dig where I'm going? Kind of town, right? It wasn't the whole worst part of town. But at the time in Tucson, the big thing was chrome. So if you had a truck, you would chrome it out. And I just bought this really cool Jeep Wagoneer. So it was just this big giant truck, and it was jacked up off the ground, and I wanted to chrome out the bottom. So I took it to the chrome shop, and I was like, yo, man, how much you chrome this thing out? And they're like, oh, yo, you're sketch a producer, right? So they all think you make a ton of money because you work in radio, but you don't. And you're like, yeah, man, cool. Yeah, that's me, man. And they're like, oh, word, man, for you, 7,000. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have $7,000, bro.
How much you buy that car for too?
I think I paid $1,500 for it. Like Adley talked me into buying it.
I love that thing, man. That was
Adley
sweet.
saw it in the penny saver. He's like, bro, you ever seen anything like that? I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, you gotta buy this. I was like, why don't you buy it? He's like, I already got a truck and I ain't got no money, but I had some money stored away, so I bought the truck. But anyway,
it was a sweet ride. The Shagoneer is what the nickname was.
That's true. Adley's more in love with my truck than I was.
I love that thing, man. But yeah, so the guy, we're going to get pizza, and the guys are like, all right, we'll take my car.
Wait, hold on a sec. I'm not done telling the story. Yeah, sorry. So that's how expensive it was. So then we go to this car lot in the South Side, and I go, hey, man, is that your truck? And he goes, yeah. And I have never seen this much chrome on a truck before.
Blinding.
I mean, beautifully blinding.
Yeah.
And I look over at him and I go, what are you, a drug dealer? And our program director got real mad at me. He was like, hey, Sketch, that's racist, man. You think all Mexicans are drug dealers? You think all Mexicans are drug dealers? I was like, Pac, me and Adelaide are the only non-Mexicans working at this radio station. Do you think I think you are all drug dealers? Or does this guy look like a drug dealer? And Paco got real mad at me. All right, Adelaide, now tell the story.
Yeah, so the guy denied it. So I'm thinking like, all right. And then so we go get the pizza, but he's all, I gotta stop by my house first. And I'm all like, seriously, bro?
Now, this is the guy I accused, remember?
This is the truck guy with the chromed out. Yeah, exactly. The same guy. So we get there, he's like, hey, just kick back in the living room, dude. And it was one of those houses like kind of beat up neighborhood, like kind of beat up from the outside, but you go in, it's like pool table, velvet paintings, big screen TV. Before there was really big screen TV, so you know,
those
a ton
giant
of money.
Weird ones, yeah.
You're like, what the hell? And then sure enough, he's like, hey, hold on, bro, just have a seat. I'm all right. Two G'd up homies come in like, with the duffel bag, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? They go into the other room, and then about 10 minutes later, they come back out and bounce with a different bag, and I'm like, dude, I got my radio station gear on with my name on the back. I got the jerseys and stuff. And I'm all like, dude, are you kidding me, bro? So we get out. And because I was pissed, because I was like, man, the last thing I need to be doing is getting in trouble. So we're driving back, and I'm just like, are you sure, dude, all this chrome, you're not a drug dealer, bro? You slang or what, dude? And he's like, oh, come on, man, why you say that? I'm all, this is a drug dealer's car, bro. You can't put your money in the bank. I've been to your house. You're buying all that random art and stuff, and I was kind of just saying it like, dude. And he's like, well, you know what, Adley? Yeah, I dabble a little bit. I was like, dude, take me back to the remote. I want out of this, dude. I was like, I'll be honest, legit, like upset, like, dude.
Were you like,
that freaking
were you
spot,
mad?
dude?
So you were mad, like in a legal way, like, hey man, I don't want to be associated with this illegal behavior. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, I would say something like that, because I don't want to get busted for something I didn't even do. I mean, it's
all right,
like,
you guys here. I got another one for you, Oscar and Grengy. No, I got another one for you. That was our program director. I got another one for you, Oscar and Grengy. There was a guy who we used to hang out with, me and Adley, and like we didn't hang out with him. He was a radio guy. So like back in the old radio days, there were 1 million people at the station all the time. There used to be this midget we hung out with, and he would just come and bring pretty girls to hang out at the radio station. That's how random and weird it was. I mean, it was so weird and random. But I'm telling the truth, correct, Adley?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So, I just thought about how weird of a flex that was. That I was like, no, we got cricket phones in a free month. Like that wasn't really that cool. But anyways, getting back to what I'm saying. So we'd always have like these just weird random people hanging out at the radio station all the time. And we had this small midget guy, and we'd have radio bits with him, right? But then he would come with us and follow us to the nightclub. And he was always annoying because after he'd get like 3 or 4 beers in him, he'd just start cursing at you and calling you names and trying to insult you in front of people for no reason. So one day I had a little bit of enough of Danny the Love Dwarf. That was his radio name.
Not Danny
the
P.
Love Dwarf. No, not Danny P.
Not Danny P. Different Danny.
Danny the Love Dwarf. Well, hold on a sec. Adley, why don't you describe Danny for him for a little bit?
Danny the Love Dwarf. Well, obviously he's not a big dude, but he was like, he had to build like if he was a normal size height wise, he'd be like a big dude, like a good 250, 300 pounds, probably big dude. And then he kind of partook in the booze a lot. So he was Danny, the alcoholic dwarf, at times.
Yeah,
and
he would drink. He'd have an open beer while he was driving, you guys.
Yeah.
And a beer belly.
Yeah. Well, and his feet couldn't touch the pedals because he was only like 3'6" or something. And so he'd get these blocks on the bottom of his shoe. And I cannot figure this out. So explain it to me, Adley, but I'm not lying to you guys. How did he always have pretty girls hanging around with him?
That was the interesting part. But I really feel like he would basically tell girls, "Hey, I know everybody at the radio station," and then he'd be like, "Hey, I can help you make some money and stuff too." So what do is dangle that in front of them, like, "Hey, you guys want to go to the radio station and visit all the DJs and stuff?" And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, yeah." I'm like, "Okay, but hey, we're gonna go to the Rock and Gem and Mineral show, and I'm gonna give you a tub full of cold waters, and you're gonna sell them for $2 a piece. Sell like $100 worth, and then we'll go." And so he'd make him do that.
You think he'd do that with the girls? They didn't bring by the
I
radio
know
station?
he would, because a couple of them told me after, like, "Yeah, he had me selling water and stuff."
He'd make them work so they could meet us? That is so mean.
I don't know if it was definitely implied, but you
Wow.
would say like, "Yeah, after we get $100, then we'll go." And then he'd probably break them off like 10, and he'd keep 90. And then he did always have really good looking chicks with him. But then he'd always bring them over, because that'd be a thing for like the DJs. They'd be like, because we'd be like, "How can we say no to letting Danny in if he had these beautiful girls with them?" So we're like, "Oh, okay, come on in."
Just be like, "No, Danny." The girls would be like, you stay.
Yeah, but you can't do that. Like, that's the next thing. Danny was super fun until he started tilting beers.
Yeah.
So like he was super fun. And do you guys have ever had any friend that was a little person before? Like a personal friend? It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Because everywhere you go, people stare at you. And then you look at them with shame. You look at them with judgment. And they feel bad.
How dare you stare?
But you know why they're staring, dude. And in the meantime, you're writing radio bits, where this guy demeans himself for being a midget. You know what I mean? Like,
Danny, rest in peace, Danny, the Love Dwarf.
If you put in Danny, I put in Danny the Love Dwarf or something like that on Google the other day, and his picture came up when he was a wrestler.
Yeah, he was a luchador. He had his little singlet on.
This guy,
like,
he was the giantest scam artist you'll ever meet, you guys. This little guy. So he's a midget, right? So people feel sorry for him. But there's nothing wrong with him, man. You're getting sucked in. He's just this con artist, but he's short. And that was his angle, always, which was brilliant. You know what I mean? He was always running a con.
Yeah. Didn't he have a nonprofit? Little People of America?
Little People of America.
Little People of America.
So here's one of the cons he'd run. He'd get like a washer and dryer, and then he'd start selling raffle tickets, right? And all the proceeds are going for Little People of America, which is him. And then he'd have one of his friends. He'd sell one of his friends the winning ticket, and then they'd just take the washer and dryer back to Sears, and then that was it. Split the money.
Hey, one more shout out to you real quick. DJ Doc, your mentor, Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar.
What up, DJ Doc?
There's the homie, DJ Doc. The Doctor rocks.
Hey, and Mike, I think we got to school them on music too. I was thinking about this because I've already assigned them a few movies to watch
What'd you
before.
assign
Just
them to
kind of
watch?
yeah. Friday. Friday
you
was
guys
one of
seen
the
it?
movies.
Have you seen it yet?
I've seen it. I've seen it. Have you seen it? No.
Oscar,
Dude,
you
you
didn't
gotta
watch it?
see it.
Oscar
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
watch it?
Throw your neighborhood in the air. Boom,
Yeah.
boom. If
You
you
gotta
didn't,
watch
yeah.
it.
You gotta see
Grengy,
it, bro. That's one of the
how
best
great is
movies
that
ever.
movie?
It's
Grengy, but
great.
how great was the movie, huh?
Awesome. I need to rewatch it.
Watch it again too. There's the other movies I'm thinking, like
Hold
a
on a
Billy
second. I'm
Madison.
gonna assume that Oscar doesn't puff on the good.
No, he's too goody too.
No,
Kathy, definitely a must see. So
no
good,
smoking,
good.
no smoking weed for Oscar.
No.
Oh man, dude, because that movie is so much funnier if you're high, dude. That movie, you see that movie, or if you see Half Baked and you're high, you see either two of the movies. Do you see Half Baked or you see? Do people say Cheech and Chong all the time? I think Cheech and Chong are all right. I think it's just it was the first time you got to see minorities on the screen,
and
you know
weed,
what I mean?
And weed,
It's
smoking weed
it's,
on the screen too.
So it's like, here's the thing. Think about this, you guys, and it's not kind of that far off different. Think about this. When Adelaide and I were young, it's like the only Asian people you see on television are like the like all the bad like that, right? And yeah, all the Mexican people you see are just like all like wachos and illegal aliens and stuff, right? And then Cheech and Chong come out, a half Asian guy and a Mexican guy, and they're just representing, being funny, singing rock and roll. They weren't that great, but it was like, oh, that's me. Look, I can do that. You know what I mean? That's why people like Cheech and Chong.
Hey, we should
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say we should throw it out to you guys watching too. What other old school movies do they need to watch? That what I mean?
Give us
Type those in the comments too, and we'll tell you. Yes.
All right, come on. What else were the
Half Baked was
qualifications?
good.
How?
What else? What are the other qualifications? Get high at a nightclub, smoke pot at a nightclub.
Oh, okay.
Smoke pot at
Okay.
a nightclub with the other Chino brother. Is that? You want to tell them that story?
No.
Oh.
I was never a big weed guy, and I think I tried it one time. And what's crazy is in my mind it's still illegal, but it's not. I know it's legal now, but I was no good. And and the girl I was dating at the time partook in some illegal substances.
Marijuana.
This girl was not a good girl, you guys. But anyways, please continue.
But she left us a half a joint or something, and I was
She
like,
didn't leave it for us. She
left it on accident.
She just left it in the ashtray. And Adley showed up at the club, and he's like, "Look what I found!" And he had it in a Ziploc, or Ziploc bag. He's like, "Look what I found!" Like
a
it was
sandwich.
police evidence. I was like, "What is that?" He's like, "It's a joint." I was like, "You want to smoke it right here?" And I hadn't smoked for a long, long time. But when I did smoke, you know what I mean? Like, because I like quit smoking pot when I think I was like, 22 or something.
Oh, was it gonna die?
Yeah, it's gonna die.
Oh, your phone's gonna die.
Send Oscar to get the charger.
Get the
Grengy,
charger.
we'll talk to you though. Well, Oscar, get the charger. Stay here.
Wait. Do you have a
Because you've seen Friday. I assigned one movie to watch, and you watched it.
What
I
else?
feel like there was
What
others.
else did you assign?
What other
What else
movies? They just kind of come up every once in a while. Like, you got to watch
Where's
this.
the connection
Or
cable?
music-wise, I'm always telling her to add music to her playlist. Always.
All
Where's
right.
the outlet?
Grangy, he'll get it. Here.
Give me the
Oh,
outlet.
no. Grangy to the rescue. This is how it is at work, too.
It's you
Yeah,
got two
I
things going
order
against you.
Oscar around all the time.
Oh, man. But then again, Mike, think about this while they're looking for that. If these two young minds got into radio at the age they're at now and the wholesomeness that they have right now,
I wonder if
It would
like
be
that's
crushed.
scary. Yeah,
I wonder if-
they'd come out totally different. Don't you think?
you're saying if they got in radio when we were in radio?
Yeah.
Oh no, that wouldn't have been good. That wouldn't
was-
have been good for you. Yeah, that would not have been good for you. Yeah, that's not
Would've been
nice.
like,
That wouldn't have been
man.
nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing you're getting in now instead of back then, because without, believe it or not, without social media, we took more chances.
Well, yeah, of
Without-
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
because
There's
nobody
no
could
video
record
proof.
Oh,
us. Like
yeah.
nobody told on us.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, like Grengy, I was not a nice, like I wasn't a good guy. That was a
You
real
get into
big
fights?
problem. Nah, not so much, but like,
Just kind of angry and bitter all the time. Like,
yeah,
like just like
That's why you
sketch
hated
against the world
everybody.
type
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, kind of like that. Like, and
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of white people. I'll be mean to white people. That's not nice, you know what I mean? But I did it. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And not
It
just
just
that.
happens.
He would some of the bits that he had would be
Oh,
towards like can I throw out B Slim? What was the B
go
Slim one?
ahead.
He had a bit that was called Tia B Slim, and it was basically like the commercial went something like do you guys all have that Tia? She turns
got fat.
26. Yeah, turns 26, ate way too many tortillas and put on some weight. And then dude, they'd get hate calls on the morning show, and girls would just
yeah.
call specifically, "Where's Mike at?" Sketch at the time. Where's Mike at?
Yeah, where's
And they
Sketch
just
at?
want to yell at him. And Paco would just be like, "Oh man."
It'd be even worse because like I'd show up at the club, Grengy, and like this smoking hot girl would be walking up to me, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, wow! Did I get more handsome?" And she'd come over and she'd go, "I heard your bit where you had that stripper and the fifth grader, and the fifth grader was smarter than her, and you're making strippers sound stupid. I'm a stripper. We're hard workers." And I'm like, "All right, well, what am I gonna do about it?" You know? Because I used to do. I would do these nutty bits. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
guys, it
Mike
would
would
not
push
be
the
good for you guys.
envelope. Yeah, he would push the envelope. Definitely. Oh my gosh. Could you
Oh.
imagine Grengy at the Wild Boys at the remote? Because one of the girls went with us, remember?
Oh yeah.
She was
Jessica.
an intern college student type. So
Yeah,
she was
Jessica.
18 or 19.
She was a high school student.
Well, by the time, but she'd been there for long enough.
No,
Really?
She was 17 years
Why
old.
did she go?
Why did I take a 17-year-old with me to Mexico? It was a lot different back then, Grengy. We hired a kid who was 17 years old.
Oh,
Child labor. Oh my
I
god.
think he told us he was 16.
He's 16. Well, he was on the payroll though, didn't he? He got
paid.
He got paid, so it wasn't straight.
No, it wasn't like we didn't trick him.
Young, growing 16-year-old boy. Oh, it was not a good scene for him. I don't think.
Was he 16 or was he 17?
I think he was 16 because he graduated when he was 16. That was the big hullabaloo about him.
Hullabaloo? The big
Look at this
hullabaloo?
guy. He graduated at 16. Yeah.
Look
Shout
at
out
Oscar,
to Alex. He was
Oscar
a good dude, though.
saving the day. Good
Nice,
job,
Oscar.
Good job.
He got the extension
Congratulations.
cord.
Word.
Look at that. On it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, these guys are awesome. I'm telling
Now,
you.
here's the thing, you guys. Me and Adley are half Asian, right? But he has an Asian mom, and I have an Asian dad. But he has a Caucasian dad, and I have a white mom. So, like, you kind of grow up Asian, but you kind of grow up with different characteristics. So every week we play a very racist video that talks about either having an Asian mom or an Asian dad. Now, last week, Adley said that the Asian mom thing did not line up. But this week, we're going to watch the Asian dad thing, and I believe it's going to line up. Adley, can you play this video for me, Grengy, and Oscar?
All right, guys, ready? Here we go.
Steven, you in your room? Oh my god, what the hell? You running a sweatshop? Good start, young. Smell like failure. Daily moisturizing lotion. Why your face so dry? What the hell? Is this Xbox? Play the game all day, don't study. Ask me why you get beat. Stupid. Is this an Xbox? That's a PlayStation. Oh, that's a Game Boy. Oh gee, okay. Oh, it's for the YouTube channel. Okay. Too bad ring light can't fix ugly. What? Oh, it's a phone so he can call other failures to play video games. What the hell? It's a wallet so you can buy more Xbox. Oh, it's the computer for homework. Good. What is this failure? Oh, it's his YouTube channel. Okay. Ha! Look, my TikTok get more followers than you lah.
All right, now. Is that racist, you guys? What do you think, Oscar and Grengy? Is that video racist?
Yeah. No.
Yes or no? What do you guys think?
Borderline almost.
But I don't think it's racist. Because, like, here's the thing. I had the Asian dad, and that's exactly how he was. Like, that's exactly how he was. Like, he just did not understand. So, like, when my dad was passing away, I run a business now. I'm out of radio. I have a vape shop, and I was out in California, and I had to stay connected with all my manager and all my staff. So I'm texting back and forth, and I'm making, I'm checking our numbers, and I'm going through my spreadsheets on my phone. And my dad was like, "Oh, your mother plays that Candy Crush too." And I'm like, "I'm not playing Candy Crush, Dad. I'm doing work. This is how I work." "Oh, it's a work, huh? You don't work. Work is with a wrench or a hammer, but work is now with a video game. It's not a video game yet. It's my phone. I just gotta get to my work." And Adlai knew my dad. Like, yeah, like, so I say that that's a very accurate depiction of an Asian dad. And I don't think, but why is that racist? Just because Asian dads are really hard on their sons. What do you guys think? Why does that make it racist?
Oh wait, did they freeze at that exact moment?
Oh,
Oh, there you guys are. There you guys are. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh, are we on?
Yeah, you guys are on.
Yeah,
You guys are on.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're listening. We can hear you.
Oh no.
No, we can hear
Check
you.
1 2 check.
Look,
Grengy.
we're right here. Look,
Oscar.
Move your arms, Adlai. Maybe then they'll be able to tell that you can.
Oh wait, check.
Maybe they don't want to answer the question.
We can hear you. You guys are awesome.
It's like lagging.
Lagging on your side.
They have cricket.
Did you guys hear the question?
Well, maybe it's more of a generation thing.
Oh man, we're putting them on the spot.
Right now, everybody's so sensitive.
You think right now everybody's sensitive? But you got to admit that was funny, right? You have to admit that was funny, correct?
Oh no. No. We're cutting out.
Oh man, what's going on?
I don't know. That sucks, huh?
Oh, we're just getting into the juicy stuff.
I know.
We'll drop a couple quick shout outs here too.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a G Boogie. My little daughter Lexi Poo says, "What up?" Wow, what's up, Lexi?
Yeah, Lexi Poo. Thank you, G Boogie.
Nice.
Hey, Marcus, what's up?
What's up, cousin?
All right,
nice,
so
nice.
You remember last week's that I sent you the one? My son's so dumb.
The mom one.
Yeah. Now, Sherilyn told me afterwards, she was like, "I think it would be racist if I sent that to somebody else. If she thinks if she sent that video to somebody, it would be racist." What do you think?
See, because I don't know, because there's another video floating around, and I'm gonna text them real quick. Come back in, but where it's the Asian lady's jogging and the white guy rolls up, and he starts saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, so where are you? Where are you from? Oh yeah, I'm from Orange County.
Yeah.
Where are you from? You seen that video, right?
Yeah.
And then but then she starts doing the, "Oh, you're from England. Oh, top of the morning to you." Oh,
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, I'm like, if I was white, I'd be like, "You're just weird," right? like, well, and I'm half white. My dad's white, so I'd be like, "That's just kind of odd and kind of weird and kind of extreme." But do you get offended by stuff like that?
I think it's funny.
Yeah, see, kind of for the most part, 99% of the time. But then if you get that one guy that is not that race, and he's trying to be funny or she's trying to be funny, and you're like, all right, bro, there's a line somewhere that can be crossed where you're like, okay, bro, you went too far. That's too far with it. But for the most part, that guy that you just played, pretty funny.
No, I think he's hilarious. But what about the mom one? Do you think the mom one? So if a white person sent another white person that one from the mom from last week, would that be racist?
Well, if she said, "Hey, I'm going to send you this. I have a ton of Asian friends, and this is what they shared with me," that actually make it more offensive, maybe. But I think for the most part, I'd be like, okay, I get it. And then I don't know. Well, Grengy said it before she cut out. People were too sensitive today. That's a quote
I know, but
from
I'm saying
Grengy.
from you personally, would you think it was racist if a white person sent you that? There they are.
Okay,
now we're gonna get the answers.
Check.
Check.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us,
Yeah.
guys? Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. So
No.
how, where do we get stuck on? You said that everybody's too sensitive. Go ahead.
Where do we get? Oh yeah, like usually, okay. At least my generation, everybody's too sensitive. Like, oh, you're racist for just saying this or that. But when in reality is just like it's not even important. That even like the race agrees. Oh, it's not even that important. like like if I were to for
Oh no.
a white guy, we don't care.
What happened to a white
Is
guy?
that racist?
You got
Nah,
lost.
it's not racist.
What happened to the white guy? I got lost. What you froze.
Like if a white guy were to wear a sombrero around me, I wouldn't say it's racist.
I saw that on the internet where that dude on TikTok, he was wearing a sombrero. Yeah, he was wearing a sombrero. He had a mustache, and he asked white people, "Was like, is this offensive?" And they're like, "Yes, it's offensive." And then he went to Alvera Street, and he was like, "Hey, is this offensive?" And everybody's like, "No, man, you look cool." Like, and he did the same thing. He had a Chinese hat.
He did the Indian headdress.
I didn't see the Indian headdress
He
one.
did the Indian headdress one,
Chinese
too.
one. I saw he had the Chinese hat on. I'm like, man, that guy's got a lot of stones, bro, wearing that weird outfit there, you know?
Oh yeah, very, very much so. I wouldn't do it. There's no way I would do it. So, but at this, I don't know. We get into that time. I want to ask them future. What are you guys looking at in the future? Yeah.
Future. Hopefully being in radio. That's learning how to DJ. Teach us how to DJ. That's what we're gonna hold you up against. You haven't taught us how to DJ. That's what we're missing.
That's the next step.
You guys really want to? Would you guys DJ a club? Would you guys DJ a club?
Well, first we gotta learn. We at least gotta learn how to DJ. Don't throw us into a club just yet.
But you'd be down eventually.
But would
possibly?
we do it? Yeah, I'd be down. Yeah.
Really?
I'd be down.
Wow, I'm impressed.
That'd be fun, huh?
Yeah, because Grangy, can I share what you're going to school for?
Oh, geez. I don't even know. I changed it like 3 times, but go ahead.
As of yesterday, Mike, this is what she told me with a ton of enthusiasm. She said, I was like, what's your major? She said, medical administration.
I don't know what that means.
It means sitting at a computer taking care of data, right? At a desk.
Basically.
Medical man, that job would suck, dude. Don't take that job. Dude, at least make radio fun again. I feel like radio's going to get fun again, you guys. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel like eventually radio's going to get fun again.
It'll be fun.
It's
got to be tied in. It's got to be tied into other media, obviously, at this point. It's got to, you got to use these other platforms in combination with radio and stuff too. And just thinking about Grangy working, I was kind of making fun of her yesterday, just like, after she's working and she's typing at the computer, and she's like, "Oh, remember that time I rode Adelaide's little bike down the Christmas parade? Remember
the radio?
Oh, there's nobody here to share with. I guess I'm gonna keep typing, and only 30 more years till I retire." But you know what? And Oscar, even you too. I mean, we've talked about it too. I mean, I don't. Tell me what I can share, but your experience here, has it changed your thoughts on what you'll do in the future?
Oh my god.
This is where you talk.
Kinda. This is where yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say Yeah.
I'm like, why are you selling
Well,
radio
I
to these guys?
Well,
Look, guys, it's as magic as you want it to be. I promise you. Here's the thing: I didn't need Adelaide to teach me to DJ. I just learned to DJ, and then me and Adelaide just DJ'd. It's a magical thing. Go enjoy it. I'm telling you right now, destroy everything you can and piss people off. Because they need you more than they needed us.
Yeah, and then and I like seeing the excitement of radio, but also we've talked about like, hey, it's not just radio anymore. If you can learn to edit video, audio, all that stuff, and obviously in radio, you're seeing parts of the other side, like the events, the sales stuff, even a little bit too. Those things all apply in whatever you do. So it's nice to bring all that in and just basically I feel like I'm just trying to say don't fall into something, control your destiny a little bit, you know what I mean?
Don't listen to a nerdy word he just said. Become a rock star. Learn how to DJ.
In radio.
Don't look at any of them other nerds in that building. You ain't their friends. You're there for one reason and one reason only: to walk in the sales office and cut a fart before anybody else gets in there, so they have to smell it when you leave. And you know why? Because you're a DJ.
Yeah. And oh man, I forgot my other point, but it was
bull crap. Whatever
I'll think of it in a minute. But I know what I was gonna say. If you've worked crappy jobs, Mike and I have worked crappy jobs before, but don't let it be the end. How many jobs have you worked, Mike, that sucked?
You guys, one time me and my wife tried to count up how many jobs I had over 125 jobs. But like, and that was like, I know. Now that I own my company, like you kind of slow down because like, okay, well, Tiny Box Vape Shop and the Chino Brothers. Oh, you think I waited a year to have a new job? You think I waited a couple weeks? Let me help you out with something. Don't believe any of these lies these idiots are telling you. These idiots are telling you these lies. Well, the longer you stay at a job, the better it looks on your resume. Kiss my butt, dude. Your job sucks, dude. I'm getting out of here. Except for radio.
That's great.
Radio's fun, you guys. Stay there forever, but become the new rock stars. Adelaide's getting old, man. Go out there and tell people about Taylor Swift. Yeah,
someone's got to take over for us, man. Yeah. Well, was it too early to get into some news stories?
Let's do it.
We ready? All right, guys. This is where we need your opinion. All right, go as crazy as you want with it. I'm gonna read the story, and you're gonna tell us. You're gonna respond. Okay. All right, I'm going to start with, let me start with this one. Okay. It's the Dr. Dre story. He's closing in on a music deal worth over $200 million, but he's selling some of his assets. Now, Dr. Dre has a sight set on a lucrative music deal, one that would sell the rights to some of his royalties and master recordings, and we're told the price tag is well over $200 million, way more than is being reported. Now, the music mogul is close to selling off some of his music assets in two separate deals, one with Shamrock Holdings and another with Universal Music Group. This is all according to Billboard. Now, the Shamrock deal looks like this. Dre sells his artist royalties from two of his solo albums, his share of NWA artist royalties, plus his producer royalties and the writer's share of the music where he doesn't own publishing rights. The potential deal with Universal's different. Dre sells the master recording of his first solo album, The Chronic, plus his share of some Kendrick Lamar music. Now, Dre's not selling all of his music. Billboard characterizes these transactions as mostly passive income streams that generate about $10 million a year. And he's not selling his ownership stake in the record label Aftermath, though. So sources close to Dr. Dre tell TMZ the actual selling price is actually tens of millions of dollars higher than the $200 million figure Billboard is reporting. So big congrats to Dr. Dre, or is that a stupid move? Because Friday, Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, they all worked together and put a lot of music together. And you guys know who Dr. Dre is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But do you think it's a good idea to sell? He's making this money. He's making $10 million a year just from streaming, but he's going to sell these passive sources of income. He's going to let them go. You think that's a good move?
Jeez.
Do you want me
I
to
don't think
explain?
so.
Or-
Is he not even gonna move it over to like his company? Like he's just selling it completely?
It's pieces of his library, I guess you could say that. It's not a lot, but it is. I mean, the
Pieces.
Chronic was groundbreaking. Mike and I were there when it came out, or I remember listening to it over and over. It was such a great album. But Mike, yeah, shed some light on it for him.
He just got a divorce, guys.
That's why he's selling it.
When you got married at 19 and you're a despicable cheater, and you just go around cheating on your wife all over the place with your friend Snoop Dogg and Eminem, and then finally she's like, man, I had enough, and by the way, when we got married you didn't sign a prenup. She gets to take a lot of money, so you probably had to sell these things. That's probably how this whole thing works.
So he's forced to sell these things.
Or just vindictive, because he's like, oh, my passive income is also her passive income, and let's just get it over with.
Oh, and you don't.
He'll still
and
back
she
up
doesn't want him
albums.
to get everything.
Yeah, he's like, oh, because whatever happened. They've been together married for close to 30 years, so it was a long time. So I don't know, we'll see. But that's an assignment for you. Listen to The Chronic. Put that on your streaming service right now. Dr. Dre, The Chronic.
I mean, they've been married for 30 years, dude, but it's not like they were married for 30 years and she had to scrub the floors and make chorizo in the morning and make, potato burritos for the kids. It's like, okay, we got to stretch the dollars, guys. Okay. All right, well, cutting coupons. No, man, she was balling for 30 years. That's it, man. You want to leave? Cool. You had a dope 30 years. That's what you had. That's all you get. Most people are never going to get a dope 30 years, dude. You're never going to just, hey, man, you know what? I want to go to San Diego tomorrow. Let me get my helicopter. She got to for 30 years.
Yes. And then when Dr. Dre was on the road, she had all that free time to hang out with the girlfriends and go shopping, getting her nails done, going to the spa and stuff while he's working. But $200 million, honestly, though, $200 million to Dr. Dre, that's what he's worth. $1 billion, right? He's got to be worth that much.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, she took half.
Not anymore. He's worth half now.
She took half. She literally took half.
Man, that's a shame. But Dr. Dre,
he was trying to get away with giving her $300 million, and her lawyer was like, no, we want $500 million.
We want
and they got it.
Yeah. Is he running out of money then?
I think that's why he sold these things.
That's why. Yep. $200 million. Woo. I kind of feel like it would be worth more than that, to be honest, but it sounds like maybe it is, because streaming is, it's not going anywhere. You don't make a ton of money per play, whatever, but classics like Dr. Dre, and you guys, the young kids, know Kendrick Lamar. He's pretty popular, so having those guys, having the NWA, some of the NWA stuff, probably not as popular at this point in time, but then again, that stuff's going to fade out too. Dr. Dre, The Chronic is going to be an album with enough time. Sadly, will be forgotten.
Has the Beatles' White Album been forgotten yet?
Interesting point. Do you think it's as popular as it was?
I don't think the Beatles' White Album is as popular as it was, but my daughter, who's 10 years old, you guys, and she plays this little guitar. It's called the guukulele. So it looks like it's the size of a ukulele, but it strings like a guitar. But she came up to me today and she's like, Dad, do you know Eleanor Rigby? And I was like, by the Beatles? And she's like, yeah, it is by the Beatles. And I was like, yeah, I know that song. She's like, I'm going to be singing it in the school music festival thing. Yeah. But that being said, you know, it's like I just feel like certain songs will stay forever, and that Forgot About Dre, dude. I think it's gonna stay forever.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I like it. Is that in your top 5?
They
Dr.
don't
Dre
play
the
Dre
Chronic?
at the club no more.
All right. Here comes the next story. You guys ready? Now, this one, because I know you guys have been working out and back in the gym and stuff, there's 6 fast food chains that you'd never guess use frozen burgers. Now, this burger chain customers, they've become an ever more discerning group. Yes, we're more picky, and with good reason, too. Burger fans have a good number of chains from which to choose these days, and many popular fast food and fast casual burger chains these days are serving burgers that rival the offerings once only found in sit-down restaurants, including using fresh instead of frozen beef. Now, many of these days, the chains tout the use of fresh ground beef, and some are even preparing burger patties in the restaurant itself. But on the other hand, a lot of other fast food burger joints have yet to get on the fresh meat wagon train. They may try to distract you from that fact using language like freshly prepared or charbroiled or made to order, but none of that applies. The meat didn't arrive at the location frozen solid, which it does indeed at these chains. First up, Burger King. And Burger King was a shocker to me because I always felt charbroiled. Oh, it's grilled over an open flame. Doesn't matter, right?
Are you kidding me?
Burger
They just
King?
put that thing already has the lines on it, and then they just pour some liquid smoke on top of there and give you diarrhea.
Burger King? Oh my god.
Burger King, raise your hand when I say the name of the burger joint. Raise your hand if you eat there. So Burger King.
Wait, hold
you guys
on.
eat there?
Wait. Did like define eat there?
Have eaten there in the last 6 months. No,
Okay.
nobody.
Like, well, okay. How about like? But here's a problem. If you're on a road trip, you kind of have to eat garbage.
You can't.
So like,
Mhm.
I think it should be eat there as in would choose to eat there.
Would you
That
see
makes
like I'm craving
It's
so
your
and so
go-to
restaurant?
spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly it, Grengy.
Okay. So Burger Kings. I'm reading this real
Oscar, you
quick.
eat Burger King?
No. Burger King.
You never eat Burger King, Oscar?
Well, probably maybe just when I was a kid, but other than that, like no Burger King.
He just wanted the little king hat when he was a kid.
You didn't get the hat, Oscar? You weren't about the hat?
I always got that.
Every
You got the
single
crown?
time when he was young. You got the crown.
I was like little King Arthur.
Little King Arthur.
My daughter used to
Oh.
love Burger King because of the crown when she was a little girl. Yeah, so I used to take her there all the time, and I hated their food. It just gave me diarrhea. I hate their food, dude. Like if I'm forced to eat there, I'll eat there, but I'm not eating it going, my God, that's a juicy burger. This has got to be grade A beef,
No.
flame broiled. It's like, okay, I'm eating processed meat of some form with a lot of mayonnaise and pickles. But at least it's putting something in my stomach because I'm starving. And reconstituted French fries. All right, come on. Who else has got a frozen burger?
Okay.
Adley?
Number 2, another shocker to me, Carl's Jr. Well,
How is that a shocker?
because
How
they got
is
the
that- yeah,
Steakhouse
how is
Angus
that a
Thick
shocker?
Burger or the Big
You
Carl.
don't believe the commercials, bro?
Nah, he's memorizing the commercials from back then with the ladies.
Oh, the girls that are
Paris
off the
Hilton
cart and
eating
stuff.
over the Oh, jeez. Well, I'm just saying I didn't think it was frozen. They got me on their advertising for sure because I'm all like, oh, what? Carl's Jr.
By
And I
all,
felt-
dude, if you feel like crap after you eat at a place, they have frozen meat, bro. I'm not lying to you.
Really?
Oh, definitely.
Oh man.
Definitely.
Okay. Now this one I don't know because we don't have one in Bakersfield, but Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
These, yeah, I don't
Never
know.
been.
I've never been to Dairy Queen to eat.
We have them
Well,
all over
it's been-
Pittsburgh. We have them all over
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
It's just a fast food joint, then basically, right?
fast food joint with an ice cream place next to it. But they make
the
bomb ice cream
Sonic.
cakes. They make bomb
Ooh.
ice cream cakes. It's, you know what? It's kind of Sonic-ish, but there's no roller skates involved, and you don't got to tip anybody. You just walk up to the front, and they sell like cheese, chili dogs and like crappy hamburgers, but their ice cream's the bomb. Like their ice
okay.
cream's phenomenal. The first time I had it is when I lived in South Dakota. And I was like, this place is amazing. They have these like dilly bars and it's good ice cream, but it'll make you as fat as a house. So you got to stay away from the place. You can only have it for your ice cream cake, because everything they make there, dude, is just, it's just like, I can't believe you guys don't have Dairy Queen. Everything they make, that's how long I've lived away from California, Adley. That like I thought it was normal.
We have, at Wiener Schnitzel, they have like the Foster's Freeze.
That's what it's very similar to.
Okay.
It's very similar to a Wiener Schnitzel. Like, how Wiener Schnitzel, dude, it's just garbage food. You're like, dude, come on. Wow.
Yeah.
It's cheap and I'm
Chili
hungry
cheese
or whatever.
this and chili cheese that. Yeah.
Just garbage. Like your stomach hurts after you eat it. That's how Dairy Queen is. But their ice cream cakes, dude, if you get an ice cream cake, bro, I would buy ice cream cakes for people. It wasn't even their birthday, just to be cool.
It was a cake made of ice cream.
It's ice cream cake, bro.
All ice cream all the way through?
Wait, you guys don't have ice cream cakes? How did I fall in love with ice cream cakes?
I feel like I've heard, where do we get them at? But it's just like
31
yeah, like
flavors.
31 flavors. Yeah, I was gonna say 31 flavors.
Have ice
Yeah.
cream cake?
I think
Yeah.
store bought. Yeah.
Not
Oh, dude,
homemade.
I'm telling you right now, 100%. It's Dairy Queen, and the thing is, they make it there. So like, you gotta make sure you and then they'll decorate it for you. So I remember one time, I remember one time. This is when Obama had barely even his name was just barely coming up, and I had a friend called Brent, and he liked Obama. He was like starting to watch him. He's like, I think this guy Obama might become president. And so I went and got an ice cream cake. I went over to his crib. We were all hanging out. I just went and bought an ice cream cake, and I just wrote Obama for president on it. I took it over as a joke, and boom, dude, that man became the president of the United States. Dairy Queen sells some magic ice cream cakes, you guys. But apparently frozen burgers.
Next time,
What's next on the
Adelaide
list,
for
dude?
president.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, try it, huh?
What's next on the list?
So Jack in the Box. Okay, I'm not surprised there. I don't think so, because that's that. But Jack in the Box, I mean, those after the club, man, 3 a.m, that was the spot.
Those
Not healthy.
tacos have got to have cancer in them. Like those tacos just don't taste like it tastes like dog food or something. It's like, what is inside there?
Like the new
This ain't your go-
hammer tacos.
Yeah, if you were a hammer, you
Well, they got the
will
mini
eat those.
tacos too.
Yeah,
The
tho-
mini
those.
tacos, those are horrible.
Oh, I've never
Really?
had those. I've never had those.
What do you guys get it when you go to Jack in the Box?
Dude, we don't have Jack in the Box in
Churro?
Pittsburgh.
No, just kidding.
A churro. You guys don't have Jack in the Box over
Churro.
there? Jack in the Box is probably the most common fast food place in Bakersfield.
We do not
I would
have
say,
Jack in the Box
besides
in Pittsburgh.
McDonald's.
We don't have Jack in the Box in Pittsburgh, and I didn't know for the first 3 years I lived here. That's how little I ate at Jack in the Box.
Wow.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm
Really?
like, "Oh, I'm from California." And they're like, "Do you have a restaurant called Jack in the Box there?" And I was like, "Oh, I guess we don't have it here, do we?" That's how bad I hate their food.
It didn't miss it at all. Huh?
No, what's the next one?
And then McDonald's, which
of course.
not surprising.
Oh
but
my
like,
gosh,
yeah, not surprising.
it
But
doesn't even taste like meat. You take that sauce off of that Big Mac, bro, you're gonna be pissed. If you've never, like, you know how like Indian people, they'll come in, they'll get a Big Mac, but they won't put burger on it because the cow is holy. You never, ever, ever, ever heard of anybody go, "Hey, let me get a Big Mac, but don't put the sauce on it," because this is
yeah,
garbage.
what the?
Oh, what about the McChickens? They drowned it in mayonnaise.
Oh yeah, man, you got
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
I do not eat fast food. Grengy and Oscar, do you guys eat fast food?
Yeah, we just ate fast food.
And McDonald's yesterday. Oscar spilled his soda
We
in
ate
my office
McDonald's
yesterday.
Yeah.
Good, because you're young. Guess what? Listen, eat it as long as you can while you're young. Enjoy it. You know what? When I was on the morning show, I used to drink a 60-ounce Mountain Dew and eat a king size candy bar. That was my breakfast every day. Enjoy your life while you're young, you guys. But Adlai,
We gotta do it all while we have metabolism.
yeah, but Adlai, you're old, man. You need to stop eating this garbage, dude. Why do you keep eating this garbage?
I've been pretty good, actually. They see me. I've been bringing my lunch and stuff lately because I'm like, okay, I want to eat healthier and stuff. So I've been getting a salad and all that and try to eat a little bit better. But sometimes just if it's busy, that's where I get jammed up. I'm like, oh, I forgot lunch. And the only restaurants around us are primarily fast food. Jack in the Box, Burger King, McDonald's. There's Denny's, but yeah.
Bro, I forgot to get so I usually get Subway on Thursday. That's my one cheat day. But I was like, oh man, I need to buy a mouse for my computer. And so I went to CVS to buy a mouse for my computer, you guys. And I was going to buy a bag of beef jerky. It's just a normal size bag of beef jerky. It was $8.60. It was $8.60. I was like, what is this beef jerky made out of? Gold?
Beef jerky is insanely expensive. Oh my gosh. That's true, dude. And you can go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac meal for $10.
No,
I'm not saying it's
I'm
better.
never going there. That place is doo-doo brown, bro. Like, here's the thing, dude. I don't want to have high blood pressure. I don't want to be on any medications. I want to sail into death from this young of old person to all the way of old person. Look at that Tom Cruise fella.
Yeah.
You guys know how old Tom Cruise is?
He's
Do you know how
60,
old
right?
he is? 62. 62 years old.
62.
Yeah.
Well,
very
he
healthy.
doesn't eat fast food. That's why.
100%.
Yeah, he eats healthy. Tom Brady, another Tom that we all love.
But he's still young. He's like 40 or 42. Stallone. Do you guys know how old
Stallone's
Stallone
like
is?
70.
Well, Stallone used to be what's it called? A bodybuilder.
Sure,
Yeah.
but do you know how old he is?
How do we compare? Who knows?
75.
Is he really 75?
75. And like I was just watching that show, and like he's wearing a t-shirt and he's shredded.
He's 76 now.
75.
He's just jacked.
Holy cow, dude.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
jacked.
Man, because he didn't eat frozen meat.
That's right, dude. Stop
Only
eating
fresh.
frozen meat. Are we done with that story?
The final one, which is a shocker to me because I always talked about being fresh, never frozen, Wendy's. So they're saying it's a chance, though. It's not everywhere, but a lot of places do.
That's a lie.
freeze
If
it.
I'm
Yeah.
Wendy's, I would sue them. I know Wendy's is fresh, never frozen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Wendy's
okay.
needs to sue them. You can see the grill, dude, at Wendy's. They have an actual flat top.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So and Wendy's is good.
I would
The
sue them if
Baconator.
I were Wendy's.
How healthy is the
I
Baconator?
like Wendy's. If I'm gonna eat fast food and it can't be In-N-Out because we don't have it out here, and it can't be Pollo Loco because we don't have it out here, then it'll be probably Wendy's. Like, but dude, I'm still telling you. Here's the problem, Grengy and Oscar. Here's what happened. Pandemic happened, right? And like, I didn't know how you get COVID, but I did know this. I'm like, man, I promise you. Everybody working in that Wendy's has COVID. All you ghetto people, man, y'all have COVID. I know you do. So I ain't eating. I'm not like, I don't want to eat your food. But until then, like I ate a lot of Wendy's, you know? So I just didn't eat any fast food. Then they're like, oh, you can go to the restaurant. Just when you get there, take your mask off and eat. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be sitting around a whole bunch of other people who don't, we don't have a vaccine yet.
People touching your food.
Yeah, like and
breathing
that's the
on
next
it.
thing. Yeah, and like I worked in restaurants, so I know how dirty these people are. So I'm like, no. But the problem was I didn't know how to cook. So I learned how to cook. And then as soon as I learned how to cook, I was like, I'm never going back to a restaurant again because I could make delicious food for my family for way less money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oscar's mom makes some bomb tamales too, by the way.
Right on.
Oh
Yeah. By the way, speaking of making food at home, and I think speaking of
Wait,
fast
did you
food,
bring in New Year tamales, Oscar?
Yeah.
For Adlai.
Yeah.
That was so nice of you.
that was cool, huh? That was very cool. I told him we'll buy some, but Mom doesn't. She won't do it, huh? She won't sell them, huh? She's not only hooking up friends.
You know what
That's
people
it.
eat on New Year's here in Pittsburgh?
Huh.
Pork and sauerkraut. Isn't that weird? And like they just talk about it like it's normal, but I guess we just talk about tamales like it's normal, right?
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, so it's like a
Just
tradition.
think about it. If it's like, oh yeah, these are New Year's tamales. It's like, what does that mean? It's like, well, it's
Kinda
you know what I mean? Like, just think about it. If you didn't know, you'd be like, what is that? You know, it's like, what's in the name, man? Just go ahead that day, pull out your fork, enjoy.
Yeah.
You have good luck. You'll be all right. Yeah.
Do you think when you're growing up though, too, when you're younger, even like junior high, kind of getting older, you like eat at home all the time? You're like, man, I want to go.
Yeah,
like
I think
the other
that is
cool
it.
kids were like bringing McDonald's. You're like, man, I want McDonald's, dude.
I kind of did, but my parents didn't. My parents sucked at cooking. The food sucked, bro. It was awful. And then my neighbors were poor, so it's like, yeah, I bet you if we had any money, they could cook real good, but we didn't have no money, so it was like the food tasted like crap. I don't want to say crap, but it wasn't delicious.
Did the chicken taste like wood?
Yeah. And fast food was mad cheap. Yeah, fast food was mad cheap back then.
Yeah, that's true too. You get dude, burgers at McDonald's were like 49-cent or like a
when we
basic
were in high
burger,
school,
49-cent.
That's how old we are, you guys. When we were in high school, there used to be this burrito place in West Covina. That's where I grew up. And you ever see that movie Good Burger?
Oh yeah, I've seen it once or twice.
Well, anyways, the set of Good Burger was actually a burrito place that we used to go to when I went to high school, and I think it was called Taco Paco, and they used to have these big giant burritos, and they were 89 cents. It was the number 6, and that was your lunch, bro. It was 89 cents, and it was like that, and that was your lunch.
What was in it? Like meat or just straight
man?
meat?
It was just some straight mashed refried beans with some cold cheese on top. And if you want a guacamole, I think it was like 50 cents more.
Yeah, beans and cheese though. That's a burrito, man. If they're cooked right, they put a little chorizo juice in it.
No, it wasn't like that, bro. You're acting like these people could get down.
Oh.
No, it was.
These people don't know how to season.
No, it wasn't like that. Like you put a lot of hot sauce on it. I promise you that. Like it's one of those ones you're just putting hot sauce every bite. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you eat it, because it just didn't have a lot of flavor to it. But it was 89 cents, dude. Come on. I already explained the poor part. What's wrong with you people making fun of the impoverished? You should be ashamed of yourselves. But yeah, I mean, like that's how it was. Dude, when I was a kid, you guys, and then we'll go to the next story. When I was a kid in high school, we used to all meet at this place. Oh man, I feel like I've talked about it. I feel like it was called Manny's Tacos. But all the kids from all the high schools, all in San Gabriel Valley, we all would meet there to find out where the next party was. And that taco place hired an amateur boxer to beat up high school students if they got out of line.
I think I remember you telling me about this.
Isn't that wild?
Because it was the hangout, right? After,
yeah,
and then get a little rowdy.
It was the scoop back. You know what I mean? Like you go there, you find the next party, and then you go there.
Yeah.
But after
Ours
that,
was Tommy's.
Yeah,
Tommy's Burgers in Fountain Valley.
But it was only worth one turn, Adelaide. Did you ever notice that? You couldn't go to the next party, break up, you go back. No, you got one party out of it, and that was it.
Yeah, because by that time, by the second one, it was too late. Too late.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next story?
All right. I know Oscar looks up to this lady here. He's a big fan. Bad Baby.
Oh, I know who it is.
Bad.
No, Bad Baby.
Bad Baby. Oh my gosh.
Now, Oxford University is bad ass. Kids loved her speech. She went and spoke at a university. Now, Bad Baby, she has a future in addressing prestigious debate clubs because she crushed it at Oxford University, and the student body greeted her with thunderous applause. Now, folks at the event told TMZ that Bad Baby, aka Danielle Brigoli, chatted it up with a chamber full of students, and it was standing room only. Some kids waited for hours in the rain to get their spot inside. Now you can tell the crowd was thrilled to have her. Danielle took part in a Q&A with the president of the Oxford Union, where she spoke about her alleged abusive experience at Turnabout Ranch. That was where she was when she was younger. What it was like becoming famous so young, making $50 million on OnlyFans, and her new scholarship fund. Now, afterward, they opened up the floor to questions from students, and shockingly, Kanye was a hot topic. So, gotta admit, she had a pretty funny response when asked about what she thinks of him, shouting out the rapper's early 2000 hits and then keeping it moving. So, she didn't really get into it too much, but Ye's anti-Semitic comments didn't come up, most likely due to the huge applause her answer drew. So, she just shouted out his old music, and that was that. Now, Danielle's in pretty elite company. One night before her, the Pakistani education activist Malala Yousafzai was at Oxford. By the way, similar turnout for both young women. Now, as we reported, Danielle was invited to speak. The Oxford Union Press offered the opportunity, saying, quote, "It would be an honor to welcome you to continue this fine tradition." Now, does that make you want to go to Oxford University to continue your education because Bad Baby spoke there?
I don't know.
Who's Bad Baby? I thought this was the Catch Me Outside girl.
This is the Catch
It
Me Outside
is.
girl.
Oh, this is the Catch Me Outside
Yeah.
girl?
How'd she
Yes.
get into Oxford?
What's she talking at a university for?
Yeah.
I thought she was into pornography.
What kind of influence does she have? She's like, drop out of college, guys.
Yeah, she's famous for going on Dr. Phil, coming off super like ghetto and immature, and then Catch Me Outside, and then she had a rap career, and Mike, we've talked about it on the Chino Brothers before. She turned 18, started an OnlyFans, and made a boatload of money on it, and now she's speaking at Oxford University to a standing room only crowd.
Who let her go? Like, what guy at Oxford was like, yeah, she could come in.
Yeah, apparently the president was like, "Come on in. Yes, we'd love to have you here."
I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for you young people. It wasn't always like this.
What is this?
I feel so sorry for you young people. It wasn't always like this, Adelaide, was it? Like, it used to make sense. The world used to make sense, didn't it?
Yeah, but I'm thinking back in the late 80s, early 90s, if Two Live Crew
This would
was
never
around,
happen. No, this would
I'd go out
never.
there.
Two Life Crew wouldn't be invited. First of
To
all,
Oxford.
yeah.
To Oxford.
Oxford University is England's version of like a Harvard. Or I mean, it's up there in education. I mean, it's a big deal.
Well, maybe because
but
it's in England. They're like, oh my gosh, this
American
famous person from
culture.
Hollywood or something.
Who do you guys look up to as young people that's famous? Because
That's
I know you're gonna
famous?
say me, but famous.
Like,
Who would you guys look up to?
Jesus.
Good. That's a good answer.
Jesus.
Jesus. Is there? But I'm thinking there's got to be somebody you guys like. Well,
Look
if I'll
up to,
throw out
like-
somebody like Mr. Beast.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, huh?
He's a good person, but
Yeah, he seems like a decent person, huh? But
He
I
seems
also
like a
agree with
decent
you. He's
person.
not very. He doesn't seem very entertaining.
yeah.
Yeah, his shtick is give you money.
Just give you money.
And you
Seems
do
like a
some
nice
goofy
fella.
stuff. You
But
do
he
some
seems like a
goofy
nice
stuff.
fella.
Yeah. But that's cool. Giving people money is a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, people need money.
What about Miley Cyrus? She had a new video come out recently.
Oh my god. Who do you look up to?
There might be one. It's mostly because he's like chill and stuff. Keanu Reeves. There you go.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely.
You're like,
You
who?
guys
That
know
was
that
a
Adley,
mhm.
you know,
That was-
Adley, when we were kids, was a spitting image of Keanu Reeves. Adley
Not
looked
anymore.
dead to
But-
rights like Keanu Reeves when we were kids, when we were DJs. So who do you think the girls all liked when we were young? And guess what? And I was like 40 pounds heavier than I am. So like, and I was like, dude, I was so rude back then too, you guys. But anyways, we got another story here. We're just gonna talk about Keanu Reeves.
Nah, with that's wrapping it up on the news. But I think before we go,
Wait,
though,
what about
Mike.
that Marvel story, Adley?
Oh yeah, I can pull it up though. Let's see. Hold on, let me find it.
Marvel?
Because one
Yeah.
thing I want to do before we leave too, we gotta school them on music, to old school music. Where is this? Oh,
Yeah.
here it is. Here it is. I found it. Okay, let me read the story first then. Okay, so you guys know these people: Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Future, and more, reimagined as Marvel superheroes. So they've been transformed into Marvel superheroes thanks to a creative fan. Instagram user Dunny West shared his hip hop meets comic book creations, which also featured Little Baby as Captain America, Travis Scott as Spider Man, 21 Savage as Iron Man, and Childish Gambino as Doctor Strange. Kendrick was redesigned as Black Panther, a fitting choice considering K-Dot helmed the Black Panther movie soundtrack in 18, while Future and Drizzy were reimagined as Daredevil and Thor, respectively. I had some fun and asked myself, what would it be if rappers played superhero roles? West wrote in the caption. Working with the AI this time was interesting. I had to spend a lot of time giving it certain details to build the characters how I see in my head. Definitely a learning experience. Now, seeing these guys now, while it's unclear if any of the superstar rappers have seen their superhero counterparts, this is far from the first time hip hop and Marvel universes collided. Back a couple months ago, Eminem was graced with his own Spider-Man comic book cover to celebrate the 20th anniversary of his film 8 Mile. On the cover, the Detroit rap icon's B-Rabbit character can be seen battling Spider-Man, while a number of familiar faces from the Marvel universe populate the crowd, including Miles Morales, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Ghost Spider. So taking hip-hop and art and superheroes, putting them together, how exciting is that?
Do you have that picture of the baby as Captain America?
I can pull it up. You guys want to check it out real quick?
Yeah, show them that, dude. It looks really neat.
It is really cool. Okay. I don't know how big it's going to show up, but let's see.
Oh, there it is.
You can see it enough, huh? So this is Dub. Wait, this is Dub Baby. No, this is Lil Baby. As Captain America, right? It's Lil Baby, right?
That's a little baby.
Lil Baby, yeah. Lil Baby. This is Lil Baby.
Little baby. Little baby.
This is Lil Baby. Dub Baby got canceled apparently, so Lil Baby. Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I like it. I can dig it.
Wait, did Dub Baby get canceled or did Lil Baby get canceled? Put us back in threes, please. Can you put us back in threes?
Yeah, here we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see. Dub Baby is the guy, the rock star guy, and he's the guy that went at the concert. I was like, yeah, if you don't have HIV.
Wait, who's Lil Baby then?
Lil Baby's actually bigger than Dub Baby.
He's more famous than Dub Baby?
Do I have him backwards?
Never heard of him.
I
thought there was. You guys have heard of Dub Baby, correct?
I've heard of Dub Baby.
Yeah, I think I don't know who Lil Baby is. I thought they put Dub Baby as Captain America, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, that's pretty bold to put Dub Baby as anything. Do you guys
know what? Oh, sorry, not to interrupt, but they have the other pictures too, the Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to check those out real quick?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Okay, I didn't realize that you could actually scan through these real quick. Okay, bringing it up here. Travis Scott, you guys know who Travis Scott is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's Travis Scott.
The concert.
Yeah. The Astro World, yeah.
Oh.
This is Kendrick Lamar as Black Panther.
Oh, it's cool.
Oh, shoot.
Drake is Thor.
That's kind of cool.
That looks neat.
He said the AI made it.
So he kind of just plugged it in. So he didn't freehand.
That's Childish Gambino right there.
Yep. Doctor Strange. Yeah. And there's Future as Daredevil.
What
I think there's one more. 21 Savage is Iron Man.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's cool. Yeah. But Oscar, are you into like Marvel or anything?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to see somebody as what's his name? The biggest supervillain in Marvel. Thanos.
Thanos?
Oh,
I like how we
Why
got
didn't it
there.
put somebody as Thanos?
interesting. Yeah, they need to do that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Maybe it would make them look racist. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, bro, I ain't gonna make them purple, bro. I'm not
The,
doing
the
that.
bad guy. You're making me the bad guy too.
Yeah. No, but do you think the baby can come back from saying all that stuff on stage? What do you guys think?
What did he say on stage?
You guys didn't hear about this?
No.
Oh my gosh, Adley, tell him about.
He was at I was Rolling Loud, one of the big
Yeah, it was Rolling
shows,
Loud.
and he said, "All right, if it's pretty dirty, it was really vulgar." But he's like, "If you don't have AIDS or HIV, put your phones up, lighters up in the air, and if you're not gonna, I don't know,
if you don't want to
yeah.
another guy's D, put your lighter in the air.
Yeah.
If you're P, like it was." He was just saying a lot of bad things about gay people. Repeatedly.
God.
Yeah. So, and that was a year ago, probably now, huh? And we were looking at, they were talking about people who shouldn't release albums, and he was on that list. And his Rockstar, that album sold like, I don't know, 1 million copies or whatever. But then the next album after that happened sold like 10,000 copies. So it's like, yeah, you know what? People have moved on from him, and that destroyed his career. It sounds like
he's either way, his music has gone progressively worse. It's not even good no more.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like he does that cough syrup stuff, the Lizine or whatever they call it nowadays. What do they used to call it?
I think it's lean.
They call it lean.
Scissor and lean. Yeah, either one.
Yeah, I think he does that lean, and he's just going nuts. Just like same thing happened with Lil Wayne.
Just getting crazier and crazier. And
it's so the music sounds like more garbage.
Yeah. And Duh Baby, I just didn't really get, but that Rockstar song was good. The Rockstar, whatever. But I thought that song was good. But other than that, I was like, I don't get his music. Other than that,
no. Do either of the two of you ever listen to Ice Cube?
Honestly, no.
Man. Oh man, that should be on your list, Adley.
We got to give him assignments. The best, if you were to tell him to listen to 2 albums, I'd even say
2 albums.
Yeah. Yes, you write this down.
Wycliffe. What was that Wycliffe album? The Eclectic? No, not the Eclectic.
Was it Carnival?
Carnival was great, but the Eclectic was. I like the Eclectic because it was a crossover record. That was the one with just cause she dances go, that don't make her a hoe, no. Remember that one?
The stripper one?
Yeah, and then to my people that don't want to go to work, thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, Wycliffe. That's a great.
Was that the Eclectic or no? That was. What album was that though? That's the problem. I can't remember.
I'm looking it up.
I had
it. Telling me to listen to DMX.
Hold on, we'll get you. We'll get you there. Don't worry. But the first thing we want to do is figure out what's going on. See, the thing you got to realize, you guys, is that back then you'd listen to the whole album because you couldn't stream anything, right? So and you had to pay for it. So it's like, well, I'm gonna listen to this whole thing. So rappers would just make stupid skits in between all the tracks. So like then you start kind of knowing. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but it was fun.
I think it was. There was only because there were 97 the Carnival, 2000 Eclectic, 2 sides to the book, and then Masquerade. I don't remember Masquerade.
I do. That was the one that. Yeah,
that was 02.
If I was president, I'd get married on Friday, buried on Saturday. Yeah, that. Yes, dude. He actually went to your radio station to promote that song. Oh, Grengy and Oscar fell off again.
Did they? Oh no! I'm looking up the discography right here, trying to get the album. So yeah, Carnival, Eclectic, Masquerade, Preacher's Son was 03. I can't remember. Yeah, I remember him coming to the station. That was probably.
All right, hold on a sec. Who was cool?
No, that was 07.
Is there anybody in your life that was cooler, like was cooler, and tell me if you can beat this, than Wycliffe Jean when he put the Carnival album out.
Wow. That was a really dope album, and it was so different coming off the fame of the Fugees, yeah, and the Fugees were on that, and Lauryn Hill blowing up, and and Praz doing a couple things,
Praz didn't work.
He had one. What was the song he had? With
Didn't make a difference.
Ghetto
Superstar.
And it was a neat kind of sample and stuff, and neat song. But yeah, it didn't blow up like that.
All right, bring him on. The Eclectic, you guys. You write that album down. Wycliffe Jean, The Eclectic. That's if I had to listen to one record, I probably listened to that record a million times. It's just a lot of fun. It's a real fun record. He sings with Kenny Rogers.
I was gonna say, yeah. And Pharoah Monch is on it.
Kenny Rogers and Pharoah Monch. And then another one. I see the problem
911 was good too.
That's right. See, it was just a really good commercial record. You know what I mean? Where the Carnival, that was kind of a hip hop record.
Wycliffe Jean.
It's called The Eclectic. So just put it on YouTube. They'll have the full album.
EFTIC, Eclectic. Yeah, that's a good one. But man, there's so many good old school artists. Yeah, when you talk about DMX, about Dr. Dre, The Chronic was so good.
Yeah, the Chronic is a really good album, but there's only a handful of perfect albums. And I think another perfect album is the Fugees. What's that? What is it? The Score?
Fuji Law, The Score. Yeah,
the Score.
That's a good album too. Yeah,
it's just a perfect album. You know,
she's putting it in her phone right now, huh? Grengy putting some stuff in there.
I'm writing it down right.
Yeah, ready stuff.
The Fugees.
Nice.
Miss Lauryn Hill. Wycliffe.
Yeah, it's called Fugees. Yeah, it was called
It's good.
Yeah, what was that one? The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, phenomenal album.
That's a great album.
These are albums that, like, when you listen to them, especially if you listen to them in that order, you're like, they stopped making bad music. Like, it's just really that
refreshing.
Great, that great of music. Let me think.
Throw some Biggie. You gotta throw some Biggie at her.
I know, but the problem is that, like, it gets really dark. You know what I mean? Biggie's music got really dark, and Pac's music got really dark. You know?
Yeah, true.
Like, I was listening to Cube the other day. I was listening to the War and Peace album, and it's just like dark. You know, you won the wet T-shirt contest. It's like, oh no.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, Grangy, maybe not. But let's see. Even then, too, like Mobb Deep, the Infamous, was out in the mid '90s, and that was really good.
Yeah.
What about Wu-Tang? A little rough around the edges.
We never got into Wu-Tang. That's the
I wasn't a huge one. I liked Old Dirty Bastards.
Oh no! Stuff. Why are we wasting our time telling them about this foolishness? Black Eyed Peas' first album. What was that called?
Joints and Jams.
Yeah,
that was on there. Outcast was really good.
That's where I was going next.
Okay.
What was the album with Miss Jackson on it?
That was a little bit late. That was like the second or third album. I'm gonna look that up too. But yeah, Outcast albums.
Or not Miss Jackson. I'm talking about Rosa Parks. What was that album called?
Oh, that was that on AT Aliens? Was that?
Yeah, Outcast, you guys.
No.
Aquemini, Southern Playalistic. Oh, I'm looking right now. Let's see. Oh man, yeah.
And then CeeLo's first solo album. What was that called, Adley? I can't remember.
Because he was with Goody Mob.
Yeah, his first solo album. It's a work of art. I mean, I'm telling you guys. Do you guys know CeeLo, Grengy, and Oscar?
CeeLo?
Yeah, CeeLo Green.
Never heard of.
Nope. Yeah, he sings that. Yeah, you know him. He sings that song. I remember when. I remember when I lost my mind. Yeah, so when me and Adley were DJing, he was in a rap group called Goody Mob, and then he put out his first solo album, and Timberland produced it.
Was that Perfect Imperfections?
Gosh. No, it's the next one.
The Soul Machine, a Lady Killer.
No, the Lady Killer is the one with. The Lady Killer has that song that you guys probably know too. I see you driving around town with the girl I love.
Oh yeah.
I said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
No, perfect,
get
perfect imperfections. You're correct. So I'm sorry, Adley. It was
Perfect Imperfections.
It's a really neat album because he was coming off from being a big like with a bunch of really cool rappers, and then everybody dissed him when he put his first album out.
Because it was so different. It wasn't
Yeah.
grimy, drug dealing, shooting people. It was just almost
It was
soulful.
Very soulful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think you guys would like it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't listen to any of that, if there's one song that you have to listen to, it's Eric Sermon's. Or no, was it Eric Sermon? Just Like Music?
Yeah, that was Eric Sermon.
Yeah,
Just
Eric
Like
Sermon's Just Like Music.
Yeah, it's a good song,
It's
too.
probably one of the best songs. Do you guys not love music? Do you guys love music or no?
Yeah, we do. With just that, we have different music tastes.
What should me and Mike listen
Like-
to?
Yeah, that's true.
What should me and Mike listen to if there was an artist that we should like that you always go to?
Oh, you got
Who?
you have one?
One was probably, well, at least an artist I listen to probably by Kai Uchida. The Telepatia song, pretty nice.
Oh, Kali Uchi. Yeah, Kali
Kali
Uchi.
Uchi.
Oh
Oh, that's
my
yeah.
God.
That's a Spanish English kind of song crossover. I always when Oscar first started, that song was big, and I always make fun of like, oh yeah, what's your favorite song? Oh yeah, that yeah. But it's kind of a catchy little pop song. But that's it's actually a really good song. Yeah, I'll give it that. Yeah.
Kali Uchi. All right, I'm listening to it tonight.
Grengy, give us a song.
Give you a song?
Yeah, what song should we listen to? We want homework too.
I'm watching Kali Uchi already, man. I ain't got
I'll give
all
you a
this time.
Spanish song. I'll give you Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee?
We know Daddy Yankee. That's not new to us. We knew that. We've been playing Daddy Yankee since Gasolina.
That's how Daddy Yankee sounds, man. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
Give me another one. Come on.
Yeah, who
Someone
else should we be
we're not
listening
going to
to?
know. Something we're not going to know.
Something please. I think.
The
have you
kids
heard
are
of the
playing at
Strokes?
Northridge. The Strokes?
Mm-hmm.
Respect. That's respect. I'll say respect to that. But we know the Strokes. Yeah.
Adler likes
You know,
Sugar
Strokes?
Ray.
You know, unlikely candidates, the Struts.
And the Struts? The Strokes and the
Struts.
Struts? The Struts.
The Stroke
The
and
Struts.
the-
This real quick story. The Struts played at Fox Theater, and we met him and stuff. And it was a pretty cool show and everything. But I remember the guy. I was like, "Hey, thanks for coming to the show," whatever. Because it was when I was over at iHeart, and he was walking out. All I heard him say, "Never again, Bakersfield, never again." I was like, "What a dick!" Oh my gosh, I was kind of offended. I was like, "Dude, you got 1,000 of your fans out here, doing your thing." But then again, they're playing big festivals with 10,000 people, and they came to do a 800, people show. So I get that. But he's all, "Never again." I was like, "What? Come on, we like you guys." So
They're rock
Yeah.
stars, dude. They're too good for that.
Oh my
All right,
Yeah.
well, we got to wrap up this show. Grengy and Oscar, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you really have
Nice.
an awesome time? Do you want to plug your social medias?
Say
What is
Groove
it?
99.3.
Where can we find you guys? Where you guys at? Do you guys on TikTok? Are you guys on Instagram? Are you guys on Snapchat? And how do people find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Just searching up my name, Grengy, and I'll instantly pop up.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Facebook.
No, Oscar's a more common name. Say that.
Rodriguez. Oscar, right? Yeah, so you can find
You know
him.
what? An easy way to find Oscar? Just type in Grengy, and then Grengy's the first one. She pops up, but she only has 3 pictures on her Facebook, but Oscar's tagged in one of them. So then you just click on the tag.
That's how you find them.
You guys got to start posting more on your social, man. We want you to be rock stars, don't you, Adley?
Yeah, I want you guys to go viral, blow up, start getting gigs, to just be there. Yeah, I think that'd be
Tell everybody
that'd be
about the Chino brothers. You're like, oh, I met these 2 senior citizen Asian guys, man. They work hard though.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for telling us about being young and so on and so forth. And Adelaide, did you have a good time?
Love it. Yeah, great time. Yeah,
Well,
awesome.
everybody,
always goes by fast too.
Yeah, man. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. We are blowing up on TikTok this week.
That's awesome.
And that's it. We will see you later. Yeah, stick around. End.